Hello and welcome back to Cinematic Epic. I am your host and game master, Adam, and we're gonna have a fun time. Cinematic Epic is a tabletop RPG that we play, and it is very narrative based. One of the big monikers we live by is that you are always welcome to try. You may approach any and all scenarios in unique and different ways with the tools given to you by the freeform game and the character that you are playing. So it's a very narrative based, and to help set the theme and the ambience, we like to use tabletop audio. Tabletop audio is a great way to add that little extra flair, whether it's background noise or music or just in general setting the tone of things going on. So whether you're playing online like us or at your own tabletop at home, check it out. See if you can find that vibe that fits right for you. It's been a fun little ride. We've got the last session where the party got themselves into some hot water, so they are wanted with bounties on their head. But the drama is most set with their faces, so I think we bring them in a little quicker today. We get things cooking. So let's bring our party right on in. Hello. How are we all?
We're doing well.
Not sure how to feel about that comment. The drama is set with their faces.
No,
Gosh.
Oh, well, we have some fun things coming up, but before we can get to those fun things, we do have to make sure that we're all introduced. So let's get this started with none other than Lyra.
Yes, Lyra. I'm not gonna lie, I thought you were gonna say Orlena, but but no, my name is Alicia. I'm playing the character Lyra. She is 5'2" from Keep Kolok. She she's the only full human amongst everyone. But anyway, she.
Oh, you don't count your
straight into this. No, she is not a bard, but she can manipulate sound. That is how she defends herself. That is how she attacks. Still trying to figure out more things she can do with that because she's on this mission, this journey to learn. Anyway, not to get too deep into it, but like you said, where we left off, we are kind of backed into a corner. She's trying to figure out how we're going to make it out of the city safely. If it's up to Adam, we won't. But she's gonna try her best.
Look, to embrace my own bardic influences, I'm seeing red. But that does leave one player alive. No, but a little storyline note to highlight for good old Lyra is, well, the storyline of the session, which is survive. Up next, we have the wonderful Sequoia.
Hello, I am back. Thank you for filling in for me last time, Adam.
What's it to you?
What's it to your accent is getting better. I'm impressed. My name is Jazz, and I'm playing Sequoia. She is a 4-foot half pixie. She was orphaned as a child, but raised and taken under the care of Hedera of the Forbidden Forest. And after the mysterious disappearance of her mother, she's kind of joined this party to try to figure out what happened. In the meantime, she's met a second Hedera and has also knowledge of a third one, I think, because this is a different one from the one that we saw in one of the other city that we were in. That one, Null Hicks, that one. I don't remember anything, okay? So she's just kind of trying to figure out what's going on with all these different Hederas, how they're connected, and how it can answer her questions about what happened to her Hedera and her mother.
Yeah, and it sounds like someone needs to be giving some thanks and acknowledgement to the Shawnee baby! But a character note for Sequoia for this session is survive.
Oh my god.
Yay. Oh, goody.
Let's bring in our next character. That would be Tavish.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ian. I am going to be playing Tavish this evening. Tavish is a 6-foot Duhallan, which is someone who has lived once, died, and is now back with something left undone. He uses a two-handed sword, and he's very much an upfront, up-in-your-face type of fighter. He is trying to piece together little pieces that he finds of his past life, and is not certain what to feel when he finds himself supposedly making the same mistakes all over again. So he's interested to see how and what he can do to change the past, to be different now, so that way he doesn't repeat the past.
Yeah, you gotta learn from it, and sometimes you gotta cut it in half.
Oh.
A character note or story note for Tavish is the fact that Tavish has been interacting with visions and experiences from his past while in the City of Vice. And of course, the other important story note, survive. And last but not least, let's bring in Epsilon.
Hey, buddy. Oh, why are we doing this? Oh, my name is James, and today I am playing Epsilon. Epsilon's a half-dragon human from a community called Watch, which is pretty much a retirement home for heroes. He's always got fangs, claws, a tail, and horns that crown his head. You know. Last time I was out here fighting for our lives against regular ass people, watching our friends almost get stabbed and stuff. So Epsilon's not in a very good mood, I suppose. And now he's got this held one in his bracers, so he's very mindful of that. So now he can't be moving the same way he was moving before. And see, now we have even more people on our backs, so it's
you know, I believe the quote of the last session was, Adam, I hate you, not your characters, not Vito, I hate you. And so we'll see how that, goes around and comes around. You know what I mean?
Man, you can't just do that after my intro. Get out of here! No, hell no.
Of course, a story note for Epsilon is survive.
He seemed a little more intense about that one.
I know, he's got it out for you now. It's probably because you got it out for Frank.
Going into some of the preamble for our session. So our characters are all at 3 minor epic tokens and 2 minor cinematic tokens, with the exception of Tavish, who has 1. A reminder of what these tokens do is epic tokens are used for combat purposes. So it's a way that a character can augment what they want to do, kind of not necessarily a guaranteed success, but a level of security in that ability. It's kind of a one-up signature move being performed at a higher level, and narrative tokens are used to interact with the story of the game. They could be used in saying, like, I want to spend a narrative token to have known this guard while they were training, or he's a friend of my father's, or something that plays along with the story of the things going on. So they're just ways to interact within the world around you in combat and non-combat, respectively. One other little preamble thing that we do need to touch on is it was a crowd favorite. So we're going to bring it back. This session will be under the Epic Encounter. Yes, that's right. This epic encounter is going to be that you have between 5 seconds or sometimes 3 seconds to react to a combat scenario, or there are punishments.
I think there's only one person that voted for this.
Adam. Adam was the
exactly. Don't you sit here
at all.
I heard 2 people say they enjoyed it. Were they related to me? Maybe.
Was it Adam and Adam playing Sequoia?
Keeping in line with the last session, I wanted to make sure that the stakes were appropriately high, and as things are getting more chaotic, we are leveling it up. So, like I said, every once in a while, you will be prompted into 3-second decisions. And just before we hop into everything, once the countdown begins, the countdown is not interruptible. So There is no asking questions. You have to make your choice. All right. Let's get things rolling with this session.
Shit.
As the party, is around, and Shawnee is desperately getting his vehicle ready to get out of here. I mean, to escape. As the walls, the windows, you can hear people beginning to it starts off with like doors being like checked and shaken and kind of like kicked, to you start hearing like blades hitting the sides of the houses, windows starting to break. You hear spells and incantations begin to assault the sides of the walls, as this building is clearly not going to last. Shawnee is finishing the remaining parts of getting his vehicle ready when he turns to the party, and he goes like, all right, Ooh, we're really in it, aren't we? Okay, so important decision. Where does everyone want to sit? The vehicle that he has there's shotgun, right? So the passenger seat up near the driver. There are 2 window seats in the middle of the vehicle, and there is a back portion of the vehicle that has like a little harpoon, like javelin launcher.
Fun.
And what kind of skill check would such a weapon entail?
That's a good question.
A weapon like this is going to involve strength checks for loading, and it will use your ranged. You can use any ranged attack, or like longbow, short bow could both be used for it. Otherwise, it will be an unaugmented dice roll.
Oh,
I vote Tavish for that.
Let's hold that joint. I got no range
Who has
weapon.
the most?
I vote
I know,
Tavish for that.
but
I
even if
don't
you don't
have-
have ranged weapons, who has the most strength?
I look at everybody else,
The
and I'm just
other
like,
thing to note, real quick, is that with the exception of the harpoon like launcher itself, the back portion is the least protected aspect of the vehicle.
Okay, yeah, I'm definitely back there.
He's like,
Tavish,
I'm-
do you even
I'm
have
the
any?
tank, guys.
Do you even know how to use something like that?
Do we have time to really sit there and debate about it? I mean, let's just get in the car and let's go.
All right, so where are you
All
gonna
right.
sit then?
Window. I don't care. Let's just get in.
They're all-
I don't
Okay,
really care.
they're all windows, honey. I think I should sit in the front solely because I can probably clear them more effectively without necessarily hurting them.
Sounds good. Let's go.
Yeah, and if anyone's chasing us, Sequoia, maybe you can like throw up some bushes to crash the cars or something. I don't know. Some vines, tangle the shit up.
I can open up
Tavish
the road.
turns from Mervis and says, "Lad, I want you to keep your head down and don't do anything silly. We need you alive."
I forgot they were here.
All right, so
Yeah, Tim, you
Epsilon
better
and
lay in the back.
before I respond to you, Tavish, Epsilon and Sequoia. Epsilon, are you on the right or the left?
So
So driver
Yes.
side, passenger side,
I'll be behind the driver.
behind the driver.
I guess.
Passenger.
Cool.
Who
That
are
would make
some
more
of the others?
sense.
I remember that we had both. Sorry,
Yes.
that's an
There-
important question.
The
We
NPCs.
had. Yes.
Sorry.
Sorry.
To answer that question, Tavish, the NPCs that are with you, you have Tim, you have Hedera, you have Mervis, you have Xander, you have Shawnee.
I
Fuck
guess.
is Xander?
Well,
Xander's the
we
guy
would
that
all-
was looking for Hedera.
Mhm.
Mhm.
The one that was going to take her to the North
he's
Hill.
from the Hollow.
From the hollow.
Yeah, he's
Yes.
in the hole.
Everyone would
Um,
know of Hedera, right? Like just like the idea of Hedera as a person.
No, I mean she would be more well known. It wouldn't be necessarily.
I mean, like
everyone.
us.
Oh, okay.
Particularly, because like where we live, everyone would know of Hedera of the Forbidden Forest, right?
Of the
Pretty
force,
much.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
again, it would be very unlikely that someone doesn't. Is the best way to describe it.
Okay, because I guess I'm like look over Hedera like, is there Any way you could help us
Like,
during
what
this
can-
too?
What
can you do?
Right?
Oh, we need some hitters
That's
on our
That's a
squad.
fair
Um,
question.
She does inform you that she. I have no intention of sitting back and doing nothing. Xander, however, also does state that her importance. She can't just be risked on the front lines. Everything in North Hill could be ruined if she's not around. And without North Hill, Hermit's Hollow would take a massive political hit. It is very important to not only Hermit's Hollow, but the stabilization of, well, the eastern part of this continent, that she makes it out of this city.
He's saying that like we're not
Okay,
in a
yeah. I
van
mean,
full
we're
of
not going to
windows.
sit there and we're not going to sit there and
all
put her like right on the out in the front and be like, okay, go. I mean,
We gonna stuff her in the
can
trunk?
Can she help?
And
Can she
the
help us?
NPCs
Like,
Okay.
Hedera,
the
do you have the same
NPCs
kind of healing
are-
powers that my Hedera had?
healing. No.
Okay.
The NPCs are lined up as so within your vehicle. Like crouched in between the seats between Shawnee and Lyra is Xander. Behind, directly behind him is Hedera. Behind her is Tim, and then like behind all the NPCs and like can touch Tavish's back. Like through a little window area because it's kind of like a truck bed that Tavish is in. He's like not in the vehicle. Is Mervis.
Mervis is right there behind you.
He can just he's at arms.
So-
Yeah.
Gotcha, bud.
And Dara's pretty much
Um,
like right next to us, right? Me and Sequoia.
Yeah. Yeah, she's like,
Like in
next
between
to
us?
I think.
Okay.
Yeah, she would be in objectively the safest like position
I mean-
within the vehicle.
That's what I was thinking anyway. You know, if I remember Hedera correctly, she could probably do shit like that. She don't need to be next to a window to be able to do something. You know.
So,
But
Shawnee looks back to the party and goes, "All right. I only have one more question. Once these doors open and I start driving, we're going to have a choice right off the bat. And it's, I can go left and I can take us through one of the enticement centers. It's one of the quicker ways out of the city. It'll get us there faster. It's also heavily populated with, I mean, well, for lack of a better term, civilians of the city and people visiting Vice. Or I could go right. The issue with going right is it's going to take us into, well, less than fun territory. It's going to mean a lot more, hostile interactions.
How skilled are you at driving this thing? Do you think you can avoid all the people?
Well, I like to pride myself in not hitting things, but, you know,
Can you avoid all the people? Can you not hit them?
I feel like
I can't promise that, no.
I feel like we've caused a lot of damage to the city already. I don't think we should go through the enticement center. We're gonna be bringing a lot of heat with us. Like regular people could get hurt, aside from us accidentally running them over.
Yeah.
I guess
Mervis-
my first thought is that I can move them out of the way.
You're
That's
always
a
welcome
good
to try.
idea.
I don't
Okay.
want to hurt them. We're going to stun at this point. We're not trying to kill
exactly.
anybody.
You're always welcome to try.
But I mean, I'll
Oh,
leave that up
Lord.
to y'all. But that was my suggestion.
What do you think?
I think we go right. I think we avoid the enticement area, and we try and make certain that people... Well, the amount of money that's on our heads is enough to make anybody try anything if they think they have a chance. And if they know that we're not going to try and hurt them by running them over, and I have no desire to run anyone over, they might just try and throw themselves in front of us purposely to try and get us to stop and get the reward themselves.
Yeah, it's good.
So we're
point.
gonna go let the more dangerous people who are more likely to catch us try. That's fine.
Well, at
let's do
least
that.
them that we can actually fight. We don't care about if we run them over or not.
Let's okay.
Mervis chimes in saying that I agree with Master Tavish. I think that we can take any threat. We should be able to, go right. We should challenge our enemies and meet them head on.
That's a
have
sleeper
you ever
name.
been
Tim.
in
You needed this, honey.
Tim,
Have you been in a fight?
Tim states that he's like, well, I like the idea of the quicker option, but yeah, I guess heroic deeds aren't done the easy way. So, and he
Ain't nothing about
like
this heroic, honey.
he hunches down away from the windows and buckles his like seatbelt like device.
He's like, get me out this bitch.
Hedera states that I think time is of the essence. If they can't get out of the way, then perhaps that's just the natural selection of it.
Figure. I love her.
But if need be, I'm not unable to handle myself. If the threats are something you'd rather face, then fine. And then finally, Xander. I have to say, I like the quicker option. It gets us out of the city, but at the same time, I do have a little bit of a score to settle with this rabble, with this filth. And Shawnee, like as everyone has said their piece, Shawnee is like clearly he's like looking back and he's got this face of like,
so which way we going?
What? None of this answered my question at all. And he goes, you know what? There's only one person I trust to make this decision, and that is the champion of humanity. So which way are we going? Left or right?
Don't
3,
oh, geez.
2,
Let's go left.
1. And so the doors open and the car begins to drive, immediately taking that left turn towards the enticement center and the quicker way out of the city.
The champion
I would
humanity
like to
said,
try and
"We gonna run those people over."
She said,
I would like to try and
humanity
pass
better
my
watch
fruit
out.
to Mervis.
That's good. I'm
because
going to put my trust in the Lyra that you can move them out of the way, and
That's right.
maybe we can. I can also try to help push some of the people out by like.
Mervis sees that you're trying to give him the freak, and he grabs it and he goes, "Oh, thank you, Master Tavish."
He can't do shit with it though, but it's cool.
No, the lad done.
As the car
Right.
immediately, I mean, the second the doors open, you're flying. You're going far faster than you expected this to go, and it's a little bit of a jarring experience. It's not like any horseback travel that you've ever done. It like the vehicle moves so abruptly, so seamlessly that it turns. Immediately you feel the vehicle hit 3 or 4 people, like as the door like opens from the people that were trying to break into the building that surrounded you. Tavish, it's harder to see for the rest of the party, but Tavish, as you see down the road to the right, you see that multiple vehicles are also like turning onto the street and are now trying to desperately catch up to you, though because you have gone left, you do have a significant lead on them, and so I will prompt you at this point. Would you like to attempt a shot on one of the incoming vehicles?
I'm presuming I've never seen a vehicle like this before, correct?
Correct. This is beyond alien to you.
We're all like, "What are these vehicles? These
I mean,
cars?"
I've already called a handgun a weird-looking crossbow, so we'll take that as it is. Yes, I would like to take a shot. I think, at least, I'm pretty certain that Tavish is savvy enough that, round things go around. So if you make them not round, they can't go.
Yeah, I mean that part would be similar to like chariots and
like
other
chariot.
things like that. So exactly.
I'm going to try and shoot like the front tire that I can see.
All right,
Or
let's
the center of it.
let's get a. And I believe you do not have.
I do not have any
ranged-
longbow
Yeah, so
or short
this
bow.
is an unaugmented attack roll. Let's see it.
Oh, not
11.
awful.
Not bad. Not bad.
It fires off with a surprising amount of force. You're not able to hit the wheel well, but it does kind of jam into the front of one of the vehicles, and it noticeably does start to go a little slower, as if the front of these things are important to their operation. let's get a strength check real quick from Tavish. So this will use his. We'll do lifting for this. We're going to call it a lifting 10 for the reload.
Nice.
Just writing that down so I do not forget. You are in the process of reloading, but you are doing it successful. It is similar to a crossbow, so it's not like something that you haven't done, though it does seem like in a very Vice fashion there are bits and bobs and other things that you're like, what is this? I don't even know what that other button does. But it's time real quick to hop up to Shawnee, and as you're heading towards this enticement center, and there are people just all about in this the center, as it's a predominantly tram and walking around. He begins like out the side of his window, just screaming for people to move. But there is a crowd of people in front of the vehicle. Do we have any actions that we want to take for this right now? You're not imminently going to hit them, but you're coming up on them very quick.
What is the road made out of?
Vice's roads are made out of a lot of different substances. Here, it's made out of kind of a marbly looking stone, but there's also a lot of like unnatural things like metals and ceramics and stuff, because they are not ceramics, like plastics and stuff, because they like to, have weird themes here in Vice.
Weird themes. How far are we?
Right now, you're about 75 feet from the crowd.
I don't suppose anyone has a way for us to go over them, do they?
Wouldn't have thought of that. Oh God.
We'll call it
Go
50
get
feet
her?
from the crowd now.
Like
Go
a
get
ramp or something?
He doesn't have. Wait, he's just yelling at them. He doesn't have a horn on this thing. It has a fucking harpoon thrower, but it doesn't have a horn on it.
We'll call it 30 feet away.
Can I?
Okay.
right,
I'm going
look.
to manipulate.
I wanna do like an
Come on.
intimidation out the window. I'm yelling too, trying to get some assistance out here.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're
not
Let's,
scared.
let's see here. Intimidation.
Okay, if I must, I will use a token on this shit too. I don't want to kill anybody.
How would you like to theme a narrative token for this? What would be the theme for this?
I feel like it's not. It's just like channeling like that
About 25 feet.
that draconic voice
God.
basically type deal, like loud booming, like get out of the way, move.
Okay. I dig that. All right. So we will have an
Another giant
intimidation check go on, but I will add this as an aspect of, to it. So we're going to say the intimidation check is a 5. That is what it is required with this minor narrative token being used from Epsilon.
I swear, if it was
That
only
one
on,
was really
I almost
rolling.
landed on that 4, and I was going to be so upset.
At first, as Epsilon leans out the window and he's like, "Get out of the way! Get up! Move!" It's not getting over the crowd, but everyone. I mean, Tavish, your armor, literally, like your shoulder pads, start to vibrate as you hear this deeper growl start to like echo up from Epsilon's like core, and this like draconic sound begins to erupt. Not only does this amplify the level of his voice, and you see people like scattering out of the way and in panic and whatnot, but underneath it, his like common speak, his English that he's speaking, you do hear him uttering things in Draconic.
He was just like, move, get out of the way, and then the draconic voice comes on. He just says, "Flee if you value your lives."
I dig it. Yeah,
Oh my
100%. That is going to make this test here for Sean E much easier. We are going to have him roll a miscellaneous D20. The number to not hit any civilians is only 3. with the streets clearing.
I swear to God, if he swerves into somebody,
Holy shit.
boy, it rolled back.
I know.
Shawnee is able to avoid hitting anyone of this first group. However, Tavish, what you see is one of the vehicles that is following you does not have the same care, and they're going to take the shorter path to get to the party, and that means plowing through civilians. You may make a reaction to this. 5, 4.
I will
3,
shoot the front of the chariot.
All right, let's see a
Shoot
roll
this chariot.
for this attack.
The chariot. Ooh.
Damn,
Oh
Tavish!
yeah.
Oh!
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Firepower.
The harpoon launcher like fires out, and you think to yourself in this moment that you're like, it still has a driver. It still has someone like and you know where Shawnee's sitting. It's probably the same thing. And so you fire out this shot, and it breaks through the front glass. It hits the person in like the left side of their chest, and they react and they pull the wheel off to the side, careening their vehicle away from the civilians, and in fact slamming into another one of the pursuing vehicles. You are surprised though when these two things collide with each other. There is an eruption of magical energy and then flame. It is like you see this weird, like, orangish lightning as something reacts inside, and then it, like, erupts as if it was, like, made of nothing but kindling. And then you have that thought that, oh, I'm in that right now, as the vehicle continues barreling down the road.
Yeah, that's
Um,
not concerning.
Everyone can't help but look back a little bit because you see this orange flash, and you're looking back at this just massive bonfire in the streets. Shawnee then shouts out, "We've got another crowd!" What is everyone's
Christ.
reactions? 5, 4.
I still want to try. I'm gonna like. No, me. It's the clap. I'm trying to like push them
Moses,
back.
Okay. Let's see it. Let's see a sound attack to split the way.
Yeah, I'm not trying to hurt.
Non-lethal.
Just trying to get them to move.
The attempt is non-lethal.
Oh fuck me. What is?
So, an important, note is: are we using our mastery, our once per session mastery roll?
God.
so happy. He's so happy.
Should I do that now?
Burn your shit now. Burn it so you can't fight my people with it. Burn all your resources, please.
5,
No,
4.
I kind of just want to do it again, but no.
All right, as you attempt to make the sound waves, a couple of people do kind of get bumped and bumbled out of the way, but it's not enough to force out this entire crowd as the vehicle gets to it. Let's see if Sean E can swerve to avoid people. This time, the roll for him to beat is 15.
God.
Oh nah. Oh my god!
Shawnee, and you witness the other side of him, the Vicenite side of him, which is as he starts to try to like dodge through them, and he realizes that's only going to slow the vehicle down, and begins to just straighten out.
I like to think
I need to do it again.
He was
I'm gonna try
weaving.
again.
he was weaving,
All right,
and then
you
he
wanna-
had that
so
thought,
this-
and then he just started pressing the gas down.
So right now, just set the scene. Tavish, you can't really see what's going on, but you just hear, and as the vehicle is like shaken and rocked, and you said you want to
My
force into
God.
action,
Yeah.
Lyra. So
Mhm.
let's see it. Let's. You're doing the same kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see it.
Holy fucking shit!
Dang.
That's even
Yo,
worse.
dice is doo doo.
Let me just
And
not
since
do
this is a
anything
forced
else.
action, it is at a -2. So, in this desperation, well, you do have mastery if you would like. No, okay. In your desperation, You attempt it again. This time though, it's rushed. It's improper, and it doesn't force them aside. You just try to force the sound out there, and this loud pop happens, and people are stunned and dazed as they like clutch their ears, making them less likely to move out of the way. As Shawnee continues through this crowd, the number to not hit people is 18. Shawnee continues.
I want to try to attempt wind manipulation to blow them
Fun. Same idea.
away,
Okay.
out of the way.
Same
Yes,
idea.
but with like the wind, with weather.
Uh-huh.
So
Gusto.
So before we get that roll, one thing to note for Tavish, as you are looking out of the back of the vehicle, whatever's going on in front, and it's really hard for you to like turn around and see, is slowing the vehicle down significantly, and the pursuing vehicles are imminently catching up on you. And let's see if we can split this crowd with some good old nature magic, Wind Edition.
come on. No. Okay.
All right, so you have to ask yourself, are you using... oh, no, you don't have mastery within this, so yeah, there is no mastery to be had. You are able to gust aside a few people, so there are people who are spared as the car continues to go through the busy streets. Heading back to Tavish, but you can see there's people like hopping, like pulling out of like the windows and sides and things like that with different like crossbows and weird like handheld devices like that you'd seen earlier. There are a couple other ones that have like open flat like backs to their vehicles, and it's just like people with swords and maces and chains and hooks and stuff on the back riding as if they are going to jump onto to your vehicle. There are 3 such vehicles in imminent danger. There's the one carrying people with a flat back. There is one that has someone who's coming up with a weird device that you don't recognize, and there is another person coming up with like a repeating crossbow.
This is ass.
5, 4, 3.
He would shoot the
2.
one that has the device that he doesn't recognize.
That is a
Okay.
fast 5 seconds.
Right?
Let's see
I'm
it.
just go
One
1,000.
Mississippi, 2 Mississippi.
Shit.
Oh no, I just thought of a new thing to give. Oh no.
The shot fires off, and it does hit into the vehicle, and the vehicle does slow down quite a bit, so it is now like not in the like as imminent threat range, but it is still operational. Going over to the person with the device that you do not recognize or fully recognize, he holds it out, he points, and he fires. It comes with this absurdly loud, like fiery bang noise as he points it in your general direction. Let's get an attack roll from his firearm at you.
Trying to shoot my boy. He don't know what it is.
Oh, damn. God.
You don't have knowledge of what he's shooting.
The shot hits into your armor, and it like the impact of it like shakes you far more than like crossbow bolts and things like that do. And you would note that there is a noticeable dent within your armor, and this like metal slug like clicks out of your armor and falls to the bed, like the cab bed that you sit in.
Gotcha.
The other vehicle pulls up to the side of the vehicle that you are all in, so it is now also thundering through people along with your own vehicle, and it sideswipes into you. So we are going to need a roll between our NPC enemies and Sean E's driving. So we'll start with the NPC attacking enemy roll to try to swerve the vehicle off the road. A 5,
Good shit.
and
Good
then
shit.
we will
Come on,
roll
Shawnee.
for Sean E.
Come on, dude.
Still better.
Still better. Still better.
Shawnee is gets a little shaken up by it, but he's able to hold on to it. Epsilon, you look as a person with like just 2 hooks like in his hands jumps like into the air, attempting to latch onto the vehicle. 5, 4.
I'm stabbing him
3,
up with my
2.
sword as he flies at us.
All right, let's get a sword attack roll.
He's like,
Step
stab.
it.
Start stabbing.
that joint almost holy, not like that.
Oh man.
I'm
it would have been.
scared.
He jumps, and you hear the hooks like latch into the top of the vehicle, but you stabbed him like right through, and he's not moving. He's just like dangling on the side of the vehicle now.
Hey, human shield.
Right.
That's terrible. Can I want to try and like remove the hooks.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's see here. We'll call that.
Shake him off your sword.
I don't know what to exactly call that. We're gonna call that you can do unarmed, you can do sleight of hand, you can do athletics.
I'll do athletics. I got a good old
All right.
4 in athletics.
Let's see it. The number to beat is 12.
Oh, that's a 1. That's a 1. Because I have
Remember,
the bracer.
he saved a 1 in his bracers to get a 20 at that moment. And since he rolled a 20, it now goes to a 1.
So,
shit.
So a 20 is now stored within the bracers.
I failed that throw off though.
So now at the next natural 1 Epsilon gets, it does become a 20. However, this 20 does become a 1. Epsilon reaches up and he grabs the hooks and he unlatches the hooks and he tries to toss it out, but this person's hooked. The person was still holding on to it. So instead of kind of moving away from the vehicle, they kind of scrape down the sides of the vehicle and the hooks latch on to the back wheel, causing this horrific sound. Tavish, give me a reflex roll real quick. The reflex to beat for you
Holy
is
shit.
going to be 12.
Okay, at least I got a plus.
The fuck.
Okay.
You know, I was like, this could be so bad, right?
As the vehicle bounces and hops, there's a moment where no part of you is touching the vehicle at all. And you have to reach your arms back and grab whatever you can of the sides and pull yourself back into this vehicle lest it leave you in its dust. Everyone in the party also now feels that with each rotation of this back wheel, the whole vehicle is going up. And Tavish, you watch in horror and dismay as the vehicles that are pursuing you are now easily catching up to you. You have the 3 pursuing vehicles that are around you right now, and there are 4 more behind them for a total of 7 vehicles.
Okay. Have I reloaded the harpoon?
Let's get a strength check for that, or a lift check for that. We should have done that before, so I won't punish you for that. That's on me. I didn't prompt it. So let's get a 10. You would have done this right after firing, so this is during this whole thing. So see,
Right
10.
before he got flung into the air.
Oof.
Not quite. So it was as you're starting to load it, you get flung into the air, and you have to, we'll say you reach down to because that's what your hands would have been on. But in doing so, it bobbled the pieces out, and now you have to restart the reload. Shawnee goes, I have an idea, but I'm going to need that crowd in front of us cleared. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to make the speed.
All right, I'm gonna.
There is a large crowd in front. Now, there are still people trying to get out of the way in this crowd. It's not like they're completely oblivious, but it's just the speed in which this is happening and the utter confusion and the chaos of it all. So the sea of people needs to be split enough for Sean E to make the speed for his plan. How are we going to do this? 5.
I want to do a rerun.
I'm inspiring
of
Shawnee
my
to drive. Well,
I'm sorry, what was your Stavish?
I was going to use the Inspire skill to inspire Shawnee's driving ability and let everybody else handle the actual clearing of the crowd.
Copy.
Yeah, I'm gonna do
Epsilon?
the same thing I did the first time. I'm using my last narrative joint.
Use another one of your last narrative token.
Ooh.
Okay.
I would
Perfect.
like to get out of here without killing too many people more
So
that we've already
let's,
ran over.
Trying
let's
my
I want to
best
try.
today.
I want to try. I want to try another like wind, like
I feel like in
Movement.
succession, we're all just trying the same thing.
Everyone said, by our powers combined.
Pretty much.
So
Maybe.
we'll start.
Captain
we'll start
Planet.
off,
Let's go.
We'll start off with the inspire for Tavish. Shawnee is not easily wooed by the words of people, so he is a little resistant to things like this. And it is a 15 to inspire Shawnee.
I bet you for Sequoia that'd be a 10.
Right? Shit.
Oh god. It
They ain't
a
inspired at
17,
all,
but
boy.
no.
Inspired.
Stay your ass in the back.
Next, with your narrative token, the number needed for you to succeed, Epsilon, is 3.
Please don't fuck me. Okay.
Shit.
Oh, I think I need the token. It wouldn't have made it otherwise. Use that shit.
We'll go into that in a second. Next up, we'll do Sequoia trying to wind magic everyone out of the way. So let's get a roll for that.
Oh,
Shit.
what the ball?
That was me last week. It's about to be me this week too.
Oh.
And last but not least, we've got Lyra trying to make a little concussive force of sound to push people out of the way. Let's see the roll.
Not much better. What is going on
damn,
with me?
dog.
It's
It's the
Some
wall.
bullshit.
So you gotta ask yourself: is this worth the mastery, or do you think the rolls as stated are enough to clear the people out of the way for Shawnee to make his
At
plan
this
work?
point, I can't even think of the word. It's not gonna be no higher than that. That's how it's been this whole fucking time so far. So let's just go ahead and do it.
Go ahead and do mastery, or let
No!
it ride.
No.
Okay,
No.
good.
Just gonna let it ride on the.
Fuck it, because it's gonna be a 7 next. So just let it go.
They'd be
Epsilon, Epsilon, you sit out to the side again, and you boom your voice out, and again, Tavish, your armor vibrates, the windows shake within the vehicle, all of these things as you hear this draconic phrase being uttered, and this like flee for your lives echo across the streets, and people are definitely trying to get out of the way, but there are some who are just not physically able to do so. And right now, the wind and the sonic pressure are not enough. The Hedera is going to attempt to split the way using some of her own wind magic as well. So let's see if Hedera is enough to make a difference.
Okay.
Oh my god.
I thought it was at 5 for a second. I was
That
gonna cry.
Right, that was
I was like,
Oh,
oh
God.
shit.
If she would have rolled 5, I'm like, how is this Hedera
that was-
special? Like,
If that was
Um,
real life, I'd have been like, someone needs to check that dice.
Hedera.
Right.
Hedera kind of stands up in the vehicle so she can kind of see out of it, and she holds her hand forward, and this gust of wind starts pushing people aside. And you would note that this wind also smells very sweet, it's a very it's perfumey in its aroma. Look, Tavish, roll me a perception check. The perception check you need for this is 16.
+2. I don't see nothing.
And I am
Too
going.
much
Shawnee is very happy as he accelerates through this gap. However, I am going to need a calamity dice rolled.
Oh my god.
All right, I do this every time. Help me out, guys.
Lower is good
bad.
for me.
Oh,
Low
never
is good for Adam. Higher is good for us.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
I forget every time. I'm sorry.
Every time.
Shit.
I almost gave you the wrong answer, so
Tavish, as you're sitting in the back of this the cab, this glint shines out, and you feel like you might have saw it a second ago, but you got too focused on the other things around, and then this little pop, and something whizzes by your head far faster than you've seen a projectile move before, and as Hedera standing up in the vehicle, and her arm exposed, something hits her in the back of her shoulder, ripping through the window in the back. Glass flies into like the party area, and she crumbles down to the floor, bleeding profusely from something that has struck her from behind. Shawnee then, I'm sorry? Hedera.
Oh, I was going to say it was Hedera. Okay.
Shawnee continues to drive, and he goes, "All right, hold on!" And you see him accelerate, and he hits this little like side rest area thing, but it's got this like little plastic ramp looking thing that like artfully curves into like a bench structure, and he careens off of this. And as the whole vehicle is in the air, and you're all kind of like holding on, bracing, things like that, a tram slips in front of the vehicle, and the back of the vehicle like slams into the back of the tram as it's passing by, and the front bumper and metal just like intertwines and like busts and rips into each other, and now the tram is hauling the vehicle behind it as you accelerate out of this civilian area with all of the vehicles around you.
That's what you meant to do.
Shawnee's like, "All right, the vehicle's not gonna hold on for too long, so we're gonna have to get on the tram. It doesn't look particularly friendly, though."
All right,
and
I'm climbing on up.
Do we want to go up top, or do we want to go in the tram? The
I think
NPCs.
we need to.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'll say we need to get Hedera inside.
The party, so the NPC party, for the most part, unanimously agrees. Hedera doesn't answer as she's clutching her wound. Xander is like, "I agree, inside." Mervis just looks to Tavish, and Tim is just like huddled in a ball, like going, "Ah! Ah!"
Do I hear any of that conversation, or am I just like, we're on the side of a moving on the tram now? Oh God!
You do hear it because the back whole like window thing is shattered.
Okay, just wanted to make certain that I heard it
No.
instead of like, well, I'm gonna climb on top
Right.
now.
I'm gonna try to clear the way.
Shawnee,
We'll go first.
Shawnee does go, "There is one other thing. Someone, you know what?" And he looks at Epsilon.
No.
"Epsilon, you're gonna need to get me to the front where the conductor is. I have to take over the tram. Otherwise, he could just stop whenever he wants. So Epsilon, getting me to the conductor part, do you want to go up top, or do you want to go through?" You have
Oh
3,
fuck!
2,
We're going on top. We're
1.
going on top, Sean.
So Epsilon and Shawnee begin climbing to the top of the tram. Party, what are we doing?
Let's get her inside.
So Sequoia
Tavish
is
is
Yeah.
going.
Tavish.
Tavish is going to try and go inside. I don't know how my position is compared to everybody else, but I guess I'll try to get inside.
Lyra.
I guess he shouldn't go by himself.
So what are we doing?
I'll
5,
go with Epsilon.
4. Okay. So up. So we've got 2 going in, 2 going up. Mervis is going to follow Tavish. Hedera and Xander are going inside as well. And Tim, just kind of like a small child, as Tavish like pulls himself through the back window area and begins walking through. Just kind of like you feel Tim grab onto like the belt of your armor, and it's just like, "Oh God! I'm an accountant!"
Bruh, shut up.
This is why you couldn't be a hero, Tim.
I didn't want to be! As Epsilon, Shawnee, and Lyra get to the top.
Somebody just dropped him in the throat real quick.
As you guys hop onto the top, right as you hop onto the top, two people appear in front of you, one of which like grapple hook swings onto the tram and lands like in a crouched position with a sword up in the air, and the other one like fizzles in using a scroll of like shunt, and he like throws the scroll aside now that it is used, and he begins to pull out another one and point it at the two of you. 5, 4,
Shoot him with
3.
my hand like a gun, and I'm spraying through his chest.
All right, let's see a fire attack roll.
I thought this was inside because the background is inside the train, not outside the train.
No, you
No,
were
we're
on
on
top of
top.
the train.
I'm saying I thought I didn't know you were us. I thought you were talking to them. That's why I was confused. Okay.
Oh, okay. So a 7 is a 7 good enough for you, Epsilon, or would you like to use your mastery? It is an 8 with your +1, of course.
I don't think, well, this is, oh yeah, it is a fire attack, isn't it? I thought I was sword slicing this man for a second. It's not,
5.
it is
4,
important. I'm mastering on this man.
All right, we are using mastery, and this is a rank 5 ability, if I'm not mistaken, for Epsilon. So it does mean that this is on a D10, where a 1 is representative of a 10, and a 10 is representative of 20. Let's see it.
That scroll could be anything.
Bam.
That's a 20. He getting crit
Oh,
up.
yeah. Just charred, just disintegrated.
He point out it not only like burns the scroll, the person behind it is just scorched to the point where like you don't hear them scream. There's just a wet pop noise.
Ooh.
And then they crumble to the side. The person that landed next to him sees that happen and grapple hooks off the top of the train.
Nice.
You said I wasn't
Yeah,
scary.
it's not worth dying to me.
That's
Nope,
not.
nope,
Well, that has nothing to do with your intimidation skills, sir.
On the inside of the tram, as you're all climbing in, Sequoia, you would be the one first into the tram. A man, he doesn't have a weapon. He just reaches out and he's attempting to grab like his hand, like put his hands like onto your shoulder and just like push you out of the back of the vehicle. What is your response? 5, 4.
Stab him with my daggers.
All right, let's get an attack roll dagger.
Daggers.
Not terrible.
10, and where is... I have it somewhere. Am I stupid? 2, 1, 1. Oh, yeah, there it is. 1. All right, yeah. I don't know why my brain just like forgot how to like see that one. It was right there too. The person comes and he gets his hands on your shoulders, but as your knife like stabs into him, he's clearly not used to this type of pain, and his hands like tighten around your shoulders for a second before they recoil back to his wound, and he just kind of slumps down to the side, like sobbing and bleeding. As the other people begin moving towards the group. Tavish, at this point, you are like hands onto the tram, like coming into the tram, but you are not like fully into it yet. There are two people close to Sequoia, one of which is like pulling something out from like a jacket pocket, the other of which is just like running in like a tackle stance. Response? 5, 4.
Using
3.
athletics, I'd like to just barrel my way through and catapult myself to hit the guy who's rushing in, not the one who's reaching for something in his jacket. I wish to put my whole weight behind it. I'm attacking sense.
Let's see the athletics check first. To do this, we will see an 8.
Spear. Damn.
Tab
that
spear.
will get it with the 3, so you do succeed in that.
Oh.
And then
Good.
we are going to go into a grapple check. The grapple check for this is going to actually, you know what, you are both doing similar rolls, so we are going to go into a roll off. We haven't done one of these in a while. Since two entities are interacting with a very similar ability set, we are going to go into what we call a roll off, where the dice will be compared against each other using the full weight of these of the stat rather than just the skill. So Tavish, I believe you have what is your strength total?
I believe it
Should be 4 or 5 at this point.
4. Right?
Cool.
Only 4
All
at
right.
the point. It is not 5.
All right, so Tavish will have a +4 to this dice roll, but let's do with a roll off of these two people tackling into each other.
Yes.
Let's go.
Oh.
Damn. Tavish came in with the bows.
Throw them both.
Oh god.
Damn.
no.
Tavish
Oh,
rolled
no.
those. Tavish, you get
Damn.
bodied by a regular ass individual.
Damn.
Tavish,
Regular
you
smell.
you spring up into the cab. There is one aspect about this whole train of events that eluded you in this need for quick thinking. Tim was holding your belt. As you begin to spring up, you feel the resistance, and your tackle stops in its track. You're not able to get forward, and before you could realize what it is, and Tim is able to reflexively let go, the other person is able to make contact with you, and the two of you go flying back onto the cab of the vehicle outside of the tram. The impact of your armor on the tram is going to cause a calamity roll to the vehicle.
See,
Let's
I
see
told
it.
you I ain't like new Tim.
Yo, that was almost a 2.
Almost 2.
You hit the vehicle, and you can tell the hood dents in, and whatever was holding it to the tram is giving way as you hear metal begin to bend and creak, and the separation of the hood of the vehicle and the tram is starting to separate. But before we get too far into that, there is the person pulling their hand out of the robe, and they pull out a knife and are jumping at you, Sequoia. What's your reaction? 5, 4, 3,
Dodge.
2. All right, let's get a evasion check. The evasion for this is going to be a 9. You're able to just
Dodge.
dip right out of the way like it's nothing.
Dive and dodge.
This person careens out the back of the vehicle, landing on top of the man in Tavish, procking another calamity roll.
Damn.
Oh no.
Oh, that's better, right?
That's
Yep.
good for us, yeah?
Okay.
Yeah, high is good for us.
He slaps into you, Tavish. His head hits your helmet. He's out cold, and he's just laying on the hood of the vehicle, and the way he lands, he's not weighing you down at all. There is the person still on top of you, and you feel them struggling and kind of flailing, though the fear of the situation is starting to wash away their combat intensity.
Gotcha.
However, the vehicle is beginning to separate more rapidly. So, what are you doing? 5, 4.
I am going to grab the back of the guy's head who's struggling, slam it onto my shoulder pad, roll him to the side, and get myself into the cab.
All right. Let's start with a grapple check first. The grapple to beat your assailant is going to be a 7.
Nice.
You're able to knock this individual out in their panic, and you stand up, and now we're going to need an athletics check. Actually, first, you know what? Before we do that, let's do... Let's do a... You may count it as a stealth, a evasion, or a sleight of hand to represent you getting up as softly as possible to not shake the vehicle before doing your athletics.
Okay.
I have none of those, so I'm guessing we might as well do evasion, because I have a
All
0
right.
in all 3 of those.
All right, so we are going to do an evasion. The number to not cause a calamity is 12.
Oh. Hey.
Cool.
You're able to get up,
Cool.
and you do feel the vehicle rock a couple of times, but you are able to get yourself up. And before last thing before you roll that athletics is because the whole vehicle is still rocking with that back tire. We are going to need to have you make a sturdiness check. This sturdiness check is a 12.
Thankfully,
Woo.
I'm good.
You're able to, like, once you gain your footing, you're good, and so it's just going to come down to this athletics check to get back into the vehicle as the vehicle is torn away. This number, since you were able to pass all of the other ones, is only going to need an 8.
Ooh.
And Tavish is able to hop back in, and as he hops back in, it is not a second or two later as you look back, and the metal gives way and shrapnel flies out, and the vehicle begins to rattle, tumble, careen off the tracks into a building, and explode violently.
Cool.
Oh,
Anyways, I pull my longsword and get ready for whatever happens next in the tram car.
Yes, the one section up is like opening their door, and there are assailants coming to the two of you. But let's check back in with the people on the top. As the two of you are like moving forward, there is a slight gap between the front of the tram and the back of the tram. How would we like to? It's about a 4-foot gap.
Oh.
I'm gonna use my athletic ability.
All right. So we're gonna have Epsilon going for an athletics check. This athletics check isn't, you've gotten rid of your assailants. This athletics check isn't the hardest. So all we're looking for is an 8.
Oh.
I guess
Epsilon's
I also have to use
Epsilon is able to hop to the other side. Now that Epsilon is on the other side, the athletics check is only going to need to be a 7 to pass, as he's there to be able to help.
Grab my hand.
'Cause I'm short.
So a 7 for a good old Lyra.
I was going to
That
say.
thing was spinning.
What
Holy
the
shit.
fuck? I don't need it now.
That shit was spinning.
Lyra jumps across, and there's like a second Epsilon where she almost looks like she kind of like hovers. Just a little bit of this like extra like pause in the air, like she vogued in the air.
I did.
And then finally, Shawnee needs to make it across. He also needs a 7.
I forgot he was up here with us.
He seemed
I
like
forgot he was here.
He seemed
the
lame.
reason
The
y'all
whole
are up
reason
there.
you're up there.
Yeah, he is.
All of you make it to the front of the cab, and Shawnee is like, "Okay, do you want to burn a hole in the top, or do you want to break one of the windows and climb in?"
I'm gonna burn a hole.
I was
in
gonna
the
say,
back
if we
of the
do
cab.
that, I was gonna
All
say
right.
I feel like
The
someone
top of
could
the cab?
drop in on us, and it seemed like a bad idea. But I don't know.
In my mind, I just see myself falling, trying to get in the side and falling off. So I'm like, I'm just gonna
All
put
right.
his hands on the back of the like away from where the front of where the driver would be, basically,
Mhm.
and just like put his hands on it and just start heating the metal up.
Let's see this fire magic roll.
Jesus, I thought it was the 2.
I know.
Those will bug me a lot of things.
You're able to like begin melting through. It's nice and controlled. You're not like fireballing through. As that goes on, inside the cab, we see the inside the cab. We've got the people coming, like opening the door and beginning to charge Tavish and Sequoia. Behind them, you can see this orange glow, like in the conductor's cab, beginning to like boil and like light up that cab. There are 4 people coming at you, 2 of which do not have weapons. One of which is like pulling out like a small like dagger type thing, and the other is just coming at you like with whatever they can find. So it's like glass bottle, it's like shoe, things like that.
A shoe? Damn.
Question: can I like kind of siphon magic from Hedera to like supplement mine?
You're always welcome to try.
I don't know what kind of magic she got.
As they get closer, the person
magic
the person with the dagger is lunging in first as they feel the most confident, and they are definitely trying to avoid Tavish, the hulking knight in armor, and go for Sequoia for, stabby with the knife time. So, what are your reactions? 5, 4.
I get in the way of the stab and let the stab come to hit the armor as I bring my blade into the person's shoulder.
Okay, let's see the attack roll.
Oh. Okay.
I didn't even roll.
They
I just dropped.
Their dagger just like breaks. Like the tip of the dagger just like dents in, and then the blade cracks, and then your attack comes in. What is the Tavish attack?
Damn, Tavish out here slapping people.
The Tavish attack roll.
No, it's what he told us what happened, Derek.
Oof.
Better
It's not
than
the
a
most.
2.
It's not the most
A lot better
convincing
than a 2.
convincing hit. It does hit the person in the shoulder still, and they crumple to the ground as they're not wearing armor, and they look shell shocked over it. They're like, maybe I shouldn't be doing. Like, you see instant regret as they're looking at their broken weapon that accomplished nothing, and they just were like humbled. However, the other 2 people, one of the people is like tackling into you, Tavish. The other 2 people are trying to push past you into the more vulnerable part of the group. So we'll go to the vulnerable part of the group first. You've got one person with a glass bottle and another person just coming in to like tackle out the back door. What do you do? 5, 4.
Glass is a natural substance, so I'm going to use my magic to use that to shatter in their hand and attack them.
All right, let's see it.
You trying to pull that bottle out on me? Boom!
Dang it.
So with this roll, I'm gonna ask you: is it more important the violence of it going off, or do you want it to be more controlled?
More controlled.
More controlled. The spell isn't quite there, and you don't bother like finishing it off because you know it would be an uncontrolled cast. The 2 people do come hurling in. The one with the bottle is coming in with an attack on you, so let's roll that attack on Sequoia. He kind of stumbles into you awkwardly, and he does like kind of bonk you with the glass, but as he's like moving in the cab, it's the type of pain like you turned in and you hit like a low-hanging bar, like it hurts, but you're like, I'm so annoyed I did that, not necessarily like in agony. The other person is coming to like tackle and push you out the back of the cab. However, we are going to get an attack roll from young Master Mervis, who has steadied within in the cab. So let's get a attack roll from young Master Mervis.
Oh,
Nice. Okay. All right.
You see his arm like hit the person, and you're the only one that can actively see the Sequoia. He's not a big guy, and he hits this person, but there's like this extra force that comes behind his punch as you see this like exoskeleton like metal piping around like the arm that he has, and a freak. And the person's head turns and they get catapulted into the side glass so hard they break it.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
And
shit.
they're just like half in the glass.
Yo!
Hey, thanks.
The glass
we're
still
gonna
did
need-
it. Huh?
Let's get a sturdiness check for Tavish real quick, as the other person is making their like push attack on you while you've intercepted the knife wielder. The number to beat this mighty push is 6.
Hey.
Woo! Hey.
They
Have
come in
fun,
and
that
they
boy.
like tackle into you, and you give so little space to this, like their arms buckle from their own pushing pressure, like as they tackle into you, and they more like slump, fall, like crack into you, and they also find themselves sitting at your feet next to the person that you've hit with the sword, and they both look up to you and they go and just raise their hands like in
Right.
surrender.
My bad.
That's what should be happening.
Sorry. Yeah, thought this was a good
None
idea.
of these people
was
should
not.
challenge this.
And
Desperation
let's
does to you.
we go to the front of the cab now, as the metal is melted through, and Sean E, Epsilon, and Lyra are able to make it into the conductor's booth. As you get in there, the conductor
I
is
forgot about him.
unconscious.
Oh shit.
Oh, fuck.
Well,
He's
Shawnee,
leaned
that is-
over. He's leaned over to the side, and Shawnee like gets him out of the way, and then to the horror of Epsilon, Lyra, and Shawnee,
Oh no.
the brakes of the
I knew
tram
it.
are busted.
I knew
The
it.
lever, it can't move, it can't be budged. It's as if something on the internal mechanisms have given way. And on this wonderful note, we are going to take our 5-minute break. So we will be right back to find out what happens when the brakes of a tram no longer work in the crowded city of Vice in the
We're
harrowing
now
escape.
in the
We will be
plane. We're on
right
speed now.
back.
We
Hey,
can't stop the
Don't worry,
train.
y'all.
Oh my
I see
goodness.
plenty of shit. I got plenty.
And welcome back from our 5-minute break here at Cinematic Epic. I am still your host and game master, Adam. It's been a fun time here in Vice, unless you're just someone trying to enjoy a stroll through the city, in which case it has not been so pretty. The party decided to go down to the civilian streets, and other than some draconic roars and some help from Hedera, things didn't go amazingly well, but there was a few clutch moments as they found out that the vehicles they're in are incredibly flammable, much to the party's dismay. They continued to latch their vehicle onto a tram that sped them up, however, was destroying the vehicle they were in, so they had to hop onto the back of the tram and fight their way on top and through, in which both sides of the party did this flawlessly. Epsilon sending someone to the fire plane as he eviscerated them to the point where the other member just gave up, and Tavish and Sequoia humbling their would-be assailants, with Tavish almost becoming a part of the wreckage left behind the tram, but he was able to keep his feet nimble, and back into the tram he was. So let's find out what happens when a tram with no brakes hurls through the city while being hunted by assailants. So much to the horror of Lyra, Epsilon, and Shawnee, the brakes are broken. As the party begins to like shuffle in, Shawnee is like, okay, so we're gonna be coming up on it, and he grabs the window and he like, or grabs not the window, like the little communicator thing to like speak to the tram, and he's like, well, so the brake system is not working, and as it like muffled and blurred comes out these back speakers, and he like look, you can see him because the tram is basically empty at this point, and he just like opens up the back window and goes, "The brakes don't work," and he shouts back, "Huh?
You know how does this work? What's driving the train right now, or the tram?"
Like how is it powered?
They're just propelled. They use kind of a similar system to the whole like freq network, from what I understand. I mean, I don't know how this all like actually works. I just know what it does. But this, if it can't stop, this is going to go through the next enticement center at this speed, and you would note that it is. Because there's no brakes, there's no regulating the speed right now. It is just increasing in speed. The only way that we could stop it is by like taking one of the derailments, which means like going down one of the side alleys where it's gonna purposely like stop and derail this tram.
Okay. Oh my
I turn
God.
to Mervis. Tavish turns to Mervis and says, "Lad, I know that you didn't have a lot of time to study there at the university. You come across anything like these trams in the books there?"
I mean, not specifically the trams, but the problem with a lot of the technology that they do is, like, once it either works or it doesn't. When they start to break, it's not really a fix; it's a replace.
You know what's propelling the tram, though? Did you see that in the books, or is the whole thing just moving?
Are we still able to see? Like, are we able to talk to each other? Because they're still in the.
I'm sorry?
Because they're still in the front and we're still kind of in the back, aren't we?
Yeah, I mean, you guys are shouting over the tram, but there isn't anyone in the tram anymore, except for the two people at Tavish's feet with their hands up.
I thought he said that y'all were moving towards the front.
Oh, were we?
Yeah, well, you were shuffling away from the back door, and whether or not you're moving all the way to the front, I figured you all don't want to stand one push away from the back door.
Yeah, I guess. While I'm asking this, I'm just gonna look. I want to look with my magical eyes, do some look and see if I can tell. Like
special eyes.
Basically, what I'm trying to figure out is the front car propelling us, or do they all get propelled by something else? You know what I mean? I just want to see if I can see the magical means through which we're being propelled.
Let's roll. That would be arcane knowledge. knowledge
I
arcane.
have a 3.
So the number to beat is 15.
That
Hey,
good.
Nice.
That is what I needed.
Yeah, you can tell that part of the reason why their emergency stops derail the train is that the energy comes from the tracks, not the trams.
I see. Okay. If I could do a follow-up then.
Mhm.
Do I think that there could be a way to, like, drain the magic from the rails to slow us down?
The answer is yes. However, you would note that it is very realistic that if this is how the trams work, part of what eviscerated that mage that first day that you were all in Vice, when they tried to like magically move through, is that Vice is surrounded and intertwined with such a level of magical currents that it's like tapping into it or interacting with it can become beyond fatal to like a singular individual.
So I'm just sitting here thinking like, oh, and I just explained like, okay, so I think the rails are powered by magic, and that's what's making us move. So if we could drain magic from the rails, we could slow down. But if someone was to do that, if you mainlined all that magic, you would probably die.
We're about 3 minutes from the next stop. 3 minutes is long. We're about a minute from the next stop.
Oh shit! Ah!
Tavish points to the two people who are left with their hands up, and he's like, "You two, get to the back of the train. You're gonna jump off at that next station and get the fuck out of here."
Oh, fun.
They look at the speed in which they're traveling and the fact that it is increasing in speed, and they're like,
Nah, bruh.
"Can you
It's
just
either
kill
that-
me?"
At that point, if they ask for that, I raise the sword above and I just clock him in the back of the head with the pommel.
Oh.
Perfect. As they are not trying to resist, the first person just gets knocked out, and he's like, the other one's like, "Does that mean you're just gonna throw us out? What does that mean? What are you doing?"
You'll know when you wake up, and I knock out the other one.
Wow.
This man is crazy.
We're about 40 seconds.
Okay,
Oh,
so I guess I want to do another little think, real quick. I guess I would think
Is
out
there
loud.
any-
Just thinking like,
So before you go into that, real
are there
quick,
any natural
Shawnee,
resources around the train?
no, not at this part, as we are barreling into like the kind of more Vito-y districts of the city on your way out. But Shawnee does go. So we're about 40 seconds out. We're gonna have maybe one choice before the enticement center. It's either go through the enticement center at this speed, or I can derail us. I personally vote going through the enticement center. I don't know about you guys.
Oh my god.
So if we go
Push
through
on.
the center, like we're going through, like we're still on the track, right? We're not gonna actually hit anybody, right?
Uh, the,
yeah, we're
the-
going through people.
the tracks in the enticement centers just kind of go through the walking zones, because when the trams normally don't go through enticement centers very fast at all. It's more like a trolley at that point, rather than the more like subway, like speed train style they do while they're inside the actual like more city street areas. So there will almost definitely be crowds of people just casually, walking
on
across the
over.
tracks that
Does the
will not
does-
have proper notification of a tram that is speeding up currently. Like, you are still gaining speed.
I was going to say, does the tram have a horn that his vehicle didn't?
No! They just don't go fast.
I
Why does nothing have like a
I
noise
vote
to
so.
make on it?
What
Like
I'm
no
thinking
horns or
is-
nothing.
if I start siphoning magic, could y'all use the magic up before I
Oh,
get
dear.
toasted up? Can the three of you, including Hedera, use enough magic to keep me from dying? If I
I was gonna
try to
say that.
siphon
Can
it
we
off.
share it? Can we like all siphon
30
magic out together?
seconds!
Kind of like like my guardians again.
Can I roll
Uh,
for if I think that
You're
would work?
always welcome to try.
Well, I mean,
I'm
like
sorry,
like
what-
a knowledge check, like see if
We're
I
gonna
think
like
that would actually work.
group
Let's,
sight
yeah,
it, like
we'll
like a
do the
chain sight
knowledge
between
check.
the three of us.
To know if you could do a proper like chain siphon like that
Daisy chain,
while it is
yeah.
not practiced, and
Daisy
with the
chain.
different types of magic, the putting together the right incantation and knowledge of the arcane isn't easy, so it is going to be a 16 to do so.
Oh my god. Holy fuck.
I'm a god today.
Oh my
So
God.
in theory, yes, this is possible. Using you as the ability to like bridge into the actual arcane itself, and then before you hit your the point of getting overwhelmed by the arcane energy, they would have to be expending it. However, they would have to be expending massive amounts of arcane energy to be able to continue this this cycle. And the fastest way to do this would be some form of offensive power, letting it out violently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could we just
Violently.
like shooting it out towards the sky, towards the
But
top, the top
100%.
barrier?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm thinking
Yeah. So
about
we
it.
could
and
just be siphoning from him and just releasing it upwards.
Mhm.
So I'm sitting there thinking about, I'm like, okay, we could do this. I could make
25
circle to
seconds.
be the battery.
Just do it.
But
Let's go.
You all would have to fire off a lot of magic. I'm talking about
Okay.
how you did when we were in Null Hicks. It has to be something like that.
Uh-huh. I
Okay, we
wasn't
got
there,
it. Let's
but-
go.
All right. So, trying to connect to the magical energies of the track, Epsilon.
Am I there too?
You gotta hook in. This
Oh,
would
nah.
be. You can use your arcane fire for this to hook into the energies of the track. You are in the front of to set the scene of this. You are in the front of the tram to do this, as you would be absorbing the energy that is coming from in front of you rather than the arcane energy
Yeah.
that is behind you. So you are trying to absorb that energy as it flows into the tram. Sequoia and Lyra, you both are hands on his shoulders, and your arms are pointed up through the skylight that Epsilon had made when they boarded the tram. And we are going to get a arcane roll from Epsilon to see. Let's get an arcane attack roll for him as he
Could we
hooks
use
into this
Hedera
energy.
too?
Oh,
She also
Actually, before we see that roll, yes. Hedera, her wound, is already necrotic around it. It's black and it's got this gooey substance to it. And anyone who has any version of arcane magic, so everyone but Tavish really in this particular instance, can see that whatever hit Hedera has a magic nullifying essence to it. It is actively suppressing and leeching. Had this hit someone like Tim, it probably would have done nothing to it. But because she's so intertwined with the arcane, it is doing something extra.
Hedera, you better get some of this energy. It might help your situation over there.
Xander stands her up and walks her over, but he is the reason she's standing. He's got an arm over her shoulder and an arm around her waist. All right, so let's see that attack roll from Epsilon. Right now, we are, like I said, about 25 seconds outside of the Enticement Center, hooking into the arcane network.
Whew. Oh,
I am on point with these rolls, son. Oh,
Um,
nah.
With this, fire jets out from your hands to each of the two rails, and it for a second it just kind of looks like normal flame, and then it latches into the rails, and you feel your arms get ripped down, and it you're having to tense physically and magically to keep yourself in position. However, you immediately feel like if they already weren't touching you, you probably would have popped. Like that is how much energy immediately flows into you, even with such a powerful and with your +1 to crit, that is the 19 counts as a 20, so that was a crit. Even with that crit roll, that you feel yourself, if there wasn't enough of a network between the three people helping you, it could have been enough to pop you. But
Okay,
let's see if they
really
can.
heavy.
Let's see if they can expend enough energy. So let's see a roll for Sequoia, Hadera, and Lyra.
Please, God.
He's like, come on, guys.
Oy, 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 oy.
Y'all on something
9.
else. Y'all on
Wait.
some other shit right now.
So you this is a point where I'm gonna ask for Lyra and Sequoia. You both have mastery. Are we using our mastery in this, or are we letting those numbers ride?
I
5.
am.
Using it, yeah.
All right, so let's see a mastery roll for the two of them.
Don't want Epsilon to like pop
Shoot.
like a fucking
It will not be
cherry
just me. We
tomato
will
out
all
this
die.
bitch.
What
We
the
would-
hell?
Y'all dice is throw your dice away.
Oh
Throw your
my
dice away and
God!
make new dice.
It's the
Throw them
fucking
away.
same.
I get to keep my
Epsilon-
9 though, right?
Pain
Only got no
better
perk.
Yeah.
The whole party begins to like the weight of it begins to like, you're all like sinking to the floor of the of the tram you're on, and it's almost as if like the weight is pushing, like the floor itself bends as if it's like trying to connect to this magical energy back into the tram.
We're gonna.
Let's roll a calamity. That sounds fun.
It's not.
Not that we did.
Stop it.
Doesn't sound
Stop
fun
it.
at all.
No, it
I
doesn't.
worked so hard to try to have it turn
Okay.
out well.
If
That's
you-
I
right
thought
in
it
the
was
middle
at
of the road.
9. Okay,
Yeah.
but I
Right in
thought
the
it
middle
was
of
the
the road.
9, and I was gonna be a little upset.
The you see the floor of the tram beginning to buckle, and the mechanics of like the internal workings of it begin to like spark, and you see that same orange lightning that you were seeing from the vehicles when they crash together begin to violently start to interact and react. That's when like during this, Shawnee looks up at Tavish and goes, I have to make a decision right now! And you can see the crowd coming up. Enticement Center, or am I derailing this thing? And you have a choice.
I
Oh,
can't
Savage.
finish.
3, 2,
Derail it.
1.
Of course, he was
He
gonna do
hits. He hits the switch to have it go into the derailing. The second that he hits this, and the cart like turns off to the side down this alleyway, and it derails, the pressure on the Epsilon, Lyra, and Sequoia is immediately removed as the track loses as the cart loses connection with the track, and thus the spell is pulled away from the party. And you feel all of you go from this intense pressure and crushing and this feeling of bubbling energy preparing to pop to back to your normal selves. However, this is still a tram beginning to tumble. So let's roll a once more on the good old-fashioned calamity table to see how bad this derailment is.
Hey, we slowed down some, right, Adam? We slowed it down a little bit, right?
Yeah, a little bit, right?
A little bit, right? Come
Oh my
on,
God.
Oh,
bro.
come on.
Mm.
Turn back to
Look
that
at all those
29.
20s and stuff. Come on, man.
Right.
Right.
Turn right, pull right back over that 29.
That's not a particularly good roll. So what I am going to need from our party is each of you may decide between one of these: acrobatics, evasion, or toughness.
Acrobatics.
All right.
Evasion.
I don't know what I have. Hang on. Where is it?
Looks like acrobatics is your highest at 2, and toughness is also at 2 for you.
Let's do acrobatics then.
Acrobatics, perfect. All right, so let's get a roll for our 4 players here. The number that we are looking for to not be tossed around too heavily and banged up in this crash is a 16.
I would like to take one note, and that's grabbing the 2 people that I knocked out and trying to make certain they don't
That
die.
was very close.
Okay.
Oh, did I
Oh.
fail?
There you go, Alicia.
Holy shit!
I got 11.
All right.
I got 11.
God damn.
So that is going to be a pass for Sequoia and Lyra, and a fail for Tavish and Epsilon. Second.
Look at
Epsilon.
that. 19, guys.
Tavish.
It's always the 19 when I don't.
Sequoia. Lyra. And let's get an NPC roll for Sean E.
Oh. Oh.
Okay, so he is in the
Hopefully he has
fail
a plus
category.
Nope.
Come on.
Next, let's get a roll for Hedera. Hedera will be operating at a +4
Oh,
because of Xander, but she
no.
is also going to fail. And Xander is going to be operating at a -4 because he was providing his support to Hedera.
Oh. Oh,
That boy.
crap.
Oh, dang.
That boy sold.
Well, Xander's
He's
dead.
sold.
All
say
right,
that.
let's get one for Tim, and then finally Mervis after that.
Tim,
Oh,
looking
damn.
good.
Tim
He's a hero
is in the
after all.
pass.
He's a
And-
hero after all.
Oh,
no.
no.
The suit helping him, right? Suit give him a
So,
+8.
One of the things I am gonna
No, that was Mervis.
So Tavish, as you fail your sturdiness check, you said you were trying to grab the other 2. So we're gonna have you. I'm gonna have you do a grapple check to prevent their demise in this crash. The roll is going to need to be a 14 to grab them as you tumble about, but to keep them safe.
Gotcha.
Damn.
Got a 12.
At first, you're able to like hold on to them, but as you tumble around it, you're not able to keep your footing. The clothing rips, and they're unable to defend themselves as the vehicle tumbles and rolls and flips down the track. Everyone, so Sequoia, Lyra, and Tim, you're all able to like get up near immediately, and you're kind of like, oh, and you're like shaking the wounds off. Everyone else, however, is in some form of like pinned under something, or like slowly like groaning as they like attempt to get up.
Oh, dear.
And Shawnee's like, we gotta. There's alleyways that we gotta keep moving.
We gotta get him up. Gotta get him up.
Who would you prioritize?
I'm gonna go to Shawnee, try to heal him.
Oh, fancy.
Perfect. Lyra, what are we doing?
I'm over here like, who all?
We need him to get us out of ice.
Where's Epsilon?
Epsilon would be very close to you. He's not
Right.
pinned under anything, but he was so intertwined with holding the tracks that like when they flipped, it kind of pulled his arms out and away from him. So he slammed like head shoulder first into the side of the vehicle as it turned, and then wasn't able to properly defend himself as he just kind of like crumpled about, like rolling with the tram.
I'm doing the Vegeta
Okay.
10% battery right now, just like.
Oh my god. Is he stuck? Do I have to get anything up off of him? He's just laying there.
No, he's
Like,
just laying there.
I was
Alright,
like,
well, I guess I'm gonna try to get him. Well, I mean, I would try to get him up. I don't know if there's anything I can do to help him, but I can at least try to get him up because we have to move.
Perfect. So we'll start with Sequoia doing some benefit, some healing towards our friends. So we can use Earth Magic for that, as it does have a branch into it. So we are going to see a Earth Magic roll on Sean E.
Look at you helping your boo.
And
we need
it's
him to get out of the city.
It's notice. It's you're able to like sprout some roots and some vines, some very small things to create almost like a little bit of a back brace and like a knee support wrapping and things that just kind of like are going to take some of the pressure off of like his like body ailments, and he's able to like stand up and he's like, legacy baby.
Oh, of course. Yes.
Thanks.
Should probably.
And he begins to like stumble his way out of the tram to like see which way everybody needs to go. Let's roll a caregiver for helping Epsilon out from Lyra.
Ooh.
Got any of that?
No, I sure don't. But
Oh,
I
you
didn't
rolled
do too
no.
bad.
The number was going to be 12, so that is a pass. You don't have extensive knowledge within this field, however, you have enough to know that like bleeding is bad, and so you're like you cover up some of his cuts, bruises, things like that, and you like get him to a more proper recovery position, so he's not just like being detrimental to his own recovery. And Epsilon, you're blurry visioned for a second, but you're able to like step back into it.
I'm over here like, how many fingers am I holding up?
4.
Oh, shit.
Shawnee's like yells into the cab, all right, I know which way that we need to, and he goes, oh, and he like ducks back into the cab, and you hear as people are catching up to the party. These loud noises are enough to kind of like start to stir and wake up anyone who hadn't already been getting up. Hedera is in bad shape. She was unable to protect herself, and she was already injured from the previous wound. So as she stands up, like her eyes are like darkening. She's like, her skin is like becoming a more paled color. Oh, I couldn't say I apologize. And she's like barely able to like keep herself upright. Xander has to be under her shoulder, and like he's got a head wound and he's bleeding profusely from his head, and you can just like you have to say his name multiple times to even get him to like look up at you.
Okay.
Mervis,
I want to try to heal her.
one second. We will get to that 100%. Mervis gets up. Mervis, for the most part, is fine, except for the fact that his right arm is like only mobile right now because of his exoskeleton that he has on. Otherwise, it looks like his arm would probably be dislocated.
Ugh, that can't be good for your shit.
Tim is like, okay. I'm okay. And Tavish, like the biggest thing you're shaking off is like the fact that you just have fabric left in your hands, and it's just like a bloody mess of the two people that couldn't defend themselves while they were unconscious.
Oh shit.
He did that.
However, to get back to let's roll a healing check for Sequoia on Hedera. So we're gonna roll that earth magic.
Come on.
Hey.
Hey. Let's get her right as rain.
This like her like physical, like from the tumbles, are definitely noticeably improved. Like the wounds aren't like gushing blood; they're more scabbed over. The bruises are a more like lighter healed color, things like that. She has a little more of a vibrancy in her eyes again. However, her shoulder wound, it doesn't seem to even change it at all, as this weird substance, whatever, in her wound just continues to like pulse and surge.
Is the bullet like still in her arm?
No, it was whatever hit her. Like you can like almost see through the hole. It's like such a large gap.
Can I try to do like bandage her arm like with like a salve that I can make from like my earth knowledge, and like
Yeah, you're always welcome to try, and that would be a
bandage it
caregiver
off.
for that.
She's over here like Neosporin.
Right.
Like,
So let's get a caregiver check for that real quick, and then we'll hop to you, Tavish.
Damn.
Okay.
it is
You're
either like
able- it's
5
it's
or
still
17.
wrapped and covered, but
Right.
you're like as you start to try to like mess with the wound, you realize that you're like that whatever this is beyond. It's like not a natural ailment. So like as it's like it's you're not sure whether to scrape it off. Like is it like. So you're just kind of like, all right, I'm going to cover it. I'm going to wrap it. I'm going to make sure her arm is in like a secured, like it's a sling, but I don't know what to do with that wound in particular. And I'm sorry, Tavish, what were you going to say?
Just put a stick in the hole.
So I'm taking stock of everything around me. I'm
dirt in there.
pretty okay. Everybody seems to be more along lines hobbling along, correct?
Yes,
And
the
we
most
have-
injured is Xander currently. Now with Hedera being having received some touch up.
And we have enemies, shots of people coming inbound, correct?
Yes.
All right then. Sequoia, you got an extra dagger I can borrow?
Yeah. Here.
Toss it here.
The hell is this guy about to do?
I don't know.
Mervis, you're a good lad. Make certain they get out of here all right.
What you doing?
Epsilon,
He's
Lead
got
the
a
way,
brave
lad.
heart.
you gotta get him going, and you need Shoni to do it. I'm gonna buy you some time.
Man, Tavish, stop. Stop right
Shut
now.
up. Shut up, lad, right now.
I'll walk out there
I'm
first. Hobbling. I hobble out first.
I push him back into a seat hard. I will do grapple on this if I've got to.
I'll roll it. I'll
Oh.
roll it against this man.
off!
You can't stop me.
Strength versus strength roll off. What do we got? It's a 4 for Tavish. Epsilon, you've got a
Probably like you saying raw strength?
Raw strength.
4.
4 to 4. Let's see it.
Where is strength on here? I don't even know.
My goodness.
Get off me, man! Get off me!
Oh boy. Oh.
I will.
No, we don't know. Hey, you
Oh,
get off me!
I will
Get off.
I will do an underhanded, unarmed strike on your wound right now. I am not kidding.
oh.
All right. So let's what would be Epsilon's reaction to that? 5, 4.
I'm just gonna
3,
try to evade and make it
2.
out there.
All right. So
Oh.
it's going to be underhanded versus we'll just settle
Unarmed.
this unarmed unarmed versus evasion. So let's see what the unarmed attack is before we have the evasion roll. So unarmed. So
Oh.
17.
Oh.
17 is the number to beat with the evasion. Let's
swear to God.
let's see what you get.
It wasn't
Damn.
meant to be. I could have got it. I could have been there.
So,
Could've.
just to set the scene for what the party sees is Tavish and Epsilon have a verbal exchange. Tavish puts his hand onto Epsilon to like push him back into like a more
Sick.
seated position. Epsilon
Get
is
off.
able to like move that hand aside and stand up. As Epsilon like begins to walk past Tavish, Tavish balls up a fist and hits Epsilon in we'll say like a bruise that is like on his like side from tumbling about. So let's get a toughness check real quick for Epsilon. The number to beat we'll say is 11.
Got a good old 1 in toughness.
You almost got a 1 on the die.
I know.
So Epsilon like he does still stumble to the side, and he like your shoulders now like against the wall, and like while you're able to keep yourself standing, you don't like crumple from it. You are still like like so like someone of Tavish size just punched you in a existing bruise.
Like Tavish, don't be
Look,
stupid. None of us have to
I
die
was
here.
gonna say while they're
Who
doing
said
all
anything
this,
about
I feel like
trying, lad? I'm going. You're going to get going too. Shawnee, get them out of here. And I dip out through one of the openings and start running at the vehicles that are firing at us. Blade drawn.
Okay. Would anyone? So what is the rest of the party doing?
I'm getting out.
Real quick to set the NPC scene. Tim is like, and like starts going like in the direction of the alley. And he's like, you can tell he's racked with like he doesn't like the idea of leaving Tavish, but he's also like, I mean,
fuck am
I can't exist in that fight over there. He's very remorseful and he can't find the words. He kind of goes like, and stumbles his way towards the alley. Let's see here. Xander, in his state, kind of like half listened and just starts walking away from the fight, leading Hedera that way, who's like definitely doesn't need him as a crutch anymore, but is taking the support of it and is continuing to walk that way. So the two of them are heading towards the alleys away from the assailants. Shawnee is like, well, all right, and he's like, the rest of you, are we leaving? What's going on? And so Lyra, Sequoia, Epsilon, what are we doing?
I have a question that leads directly into my plans here. That there's a 20 in my bracers right now, right?
Yes.
That can be used, right?
Yeah, if you get a natural one.
Okay, I see.
You can't just be like 20. No.
I was like, let me use it. I rolled the 1. I earned the 20. Give it to me. Okay. Like I still gotta do what I'm trying to do. I'm climbing up on top of the tram, the derailed ass tram.
Okay.
I'm about to rain hell on these vehicles before we head up out of here.
All right.
Just opens his arms
then,
up, just starts making fireballs.
Sequoia, Lyra.
Well, last time he didn't need my help, so I'm gonna I guess help them try to get out, try to get away.
Perfect. And Sequoia.
I want to try to tap into my lightning power again, like I did in
Nullhix.
And I want to try to send an attack down on all of the assailants.
Fun.
So to go in order. So Tavish, you leave the vehicle, and as you are like, you're at the doorway, and you're like going to leave. Mervis is standing at your shoulder, like, all right.
No, lad. They need you back there. You have to get going.
If you don't go now, you're not going to cause a distraction, so let's go!
Damn it, lad! And then I start taking off.
And he follows in suit behind Tavish.
Oh, this kid, no!
Epsilon, you're getting to the top of the cab. We're gonna have you roll a toughness check though, because you are still banged up. You've been punched, and now you're climbing to the top. This isn't the hardest toughness check to do, but we're gonna have you roll on a 7 is the number to beat.
I'm getting too old for this shit.
You're able to push your way up to the top. And Sequoia, you like come out kind of like one of the doors as well, similar to like how Tavish did. So you're not on top like Epsilon is, but you're on the side. So what we are going to start with is, as the defenders were ready for this, is their incoming attack wave at Tavish and Mervis. That is like the place they saw Shani, so it is the place that they are aiming. And so we are going to have a 6 rolls, please, against these two coming out. You would note that the as you all are clearing and looking out there, this is a different group that is attacking you, not the vehicles that were following you earlier.
So there's a different group coming at us that are trying to get away.
This is the group that Tavish, as Sequoia, Tavish, and Epsilon get to the top, and they are looking at the assailants behind them. This is not the same group of vehicles that we're chasing.
Okay, I misunderstood. Okay.
There you go. So let's get that 6 attack rolls.
Whew.
Holy
Jesus
shit!
Christ.
They rolled hella good.
One
Except for that
shot.
one guy that got a 3.
One shot veers and hits nothing. Tavish, you immediately are like, you step out and it's like, eats into your armor, and like your charge like stumbles into like a walk with this hail of like shots as you realize it's not just one person like it was last time. It's like this whole group of them. And I'm gonna have you roll a reflex. This is an optional roll, as one of the shots is heading towards Master Mervis, who does not have the luxury of magical heavy armor.
Yeah, we're going to be using that reflex to get him out. Or
All
get
right,
him
the
down.
roll...
It's going to be like a push down and out, and hopefully back into the actual tram.
Perfect. The reflex first to make sure to try to get in the way is going to be a 12.
Oh.
That's an 11.
Oh no.
Just
That's
not
good.
quite fast enough. As young Master Mervis is hit high in the chest and slaps down onto the ground near immediately. Roll a perception for me real quick.
For who?
The number to beat is 14.
Oh my god.
He sees nothing.
You need mastery on perception, my boy.
As you
I think mastery
look-
on anything.
you look at young Master Mervis with this wound in his chest. He's lying there. He's unmoving. Epsilon, you reach the top of the cab. Sequoia, you come like out the side of the cab. To start with Sequoia real quick, as your path was quicker than Epsilon's, who was climbing to the top. You feel no connection to the previous Null Hicks lightning. However, you may always expend an epic token to forcibly create the bonds in which that might not regularly reach out to you.
Yes.
All right, so you're going to use one of the epic tokens for Sequoia, and then we are going to have this roll go off, and this roll, because of the epic token, is going to go from a hit roughly needing somewhere in the ballpark of 18 plus 2. We are going to see what the attack roll is. So let's see how violent this attack roll is rather than needing a requirement.
Oh. Shit! She gets one guy.
However, you still ball up this purple lightning, and for a split second, you feel that same energy like echo and rip through you. Like those closest to her, so this would be like Tavish, Epsilon, you to an extent. You would note that it didn't even really. It happened so subtly that you didn't even realize that Sequoia's been putting off a far more sweet scent than you ever thought of. And then in this moment, though, where this purple lightning starts rippling around her hands and her eyes, it seemingly disappears, and her skin for a moment takes on that stonier, like hard look rather than what her normal appearance is, as a bolt comes flying down, smashing into the group, sending them all scattered. None of them seem to perish from this attack, but they're either stunned, startled, or hit, like knocked aside by this blast as this purple bolt comes flying in from the sky. Epsilon, let's see you your attack, your roll. What are we doing?
Okay, well, I'm gonna channel my magic through my sword, right? I'm doing like a. I guess I want to do what? Oh, what? Who are they? Just a group of people approaching us? Is what's happening like a big mob, basically, or?
No, this looks like as you're getting to actually look at them, this group looks far more cohesive. They look like organized. This doesn't look just like people that saw the blurb. This looks like people who like
they planned on coming out here.
Like exactly. Like they look far more organized. By a rough guess estimate, you would say they're probably part of like Ronnie's, like in the Blackheart group.
All right. Well, all sympathy has been lost in this moment, so I am also gonna use a token, and he's holding the sword up, and he's just conjuring a big ass fireball, and then yeah, he's gonna do that, and how do I want to do this? I feel like he's gonna. I want to shape it when I throw it. I guess is the thing. I don't want to just throw like a fireball.
What are we doing?
I guess throwing like he's gonna throw it, and it's just gonna look like. I guess just like. Okay, it's gonna throw the fireball, and I guess the flames coming off the shit. It's gonna look like just like a mass of like claws coming out of the fire or some shit like this.
Oh, I like that. All right.
I just like this. This is enough. I almost got blown up. This is some old bullshit. This is the frustration. It's like when it gets like this. Well, now we're blowing everybody up.
Well, let's see this attack roll.
Up. Oh yeah, let me minus my shit.
Oh fuck!
I do have
3.
a perk though, so at the least I have Eldritch casting, so at least it's a 10.
And the other aspect of this is as the fireball goes down, it's not the fastest moving. It almost doesn't like project itself through the air. These hands erupt out of it, and it's almost as if it's a living creature dragging itself like through reality. Now, if these assailants were standing on their feet, they might have been able to escape, but they were cast aside. They were thrown about and or stunned or shocked from the purple lightning caused by Sequoia. So as they like try to get their bearings and stand back up, this flame begins to just consume over them, grabbing them, pulling them screaming into its own fiery entity as you hear them char and burn, and nothing but skeletons drop out of its wake as it continues its march forward before finally dissipating and like flourishing in an explosion of flame. These enforcers aren't so readily scared though, so you hear as the group continues to come in, like you hear them like what in the their spell's over, get in there, and like as they start
running over
in,
charred bones
and things of
the ashes up there.
So
that's fucked up.
I would like to use an epic token that after the slow death march of the fiery creature, that Tavish was right on its heels, and anybody who wasn't up instantly, I'd like to take swings at, just to like coup de grace as many of them as I could.
So the ones so yes, you can use your epic token that way. First off, the ones that were consumed by the fire would have already been taken out. However, you could be right on the fire's heels, so that way the people that are the next wave of people coming in could be like, oh, we're here, there's a guy in front of us. And so while Tavish is out in the front there, we are going to have to pull, let's see here, Sequoia into a sidebar real quick.
Oh, nah.
Oh, okay. What am I doing? What happened?
As you are on the side of the vehicle, Tavish like looks down at Mervis, grips his sword, and charges after the fire. You hear a and you look down at Mervis, and the wound through his chest should have killed him, or at the very least put him in a near-death state. Yet his wound doesn't seem to be bleeding, as the mechanical like apparatus that he has wrapped around him still thrums with energy, and the only thing that you can note is that Tavish's freq is still active within his suit. Mervis like clutches and looks at it, and he's like, oh, that doesn't, help me.
I want to run up and heal him.
All right, let's get a check. Earth magic.
Oh my god, come on.
Now you could always you could always use one of your epic tokens.
Yeah, I'll go ahead.
Using an epic token that puts you down to 1. At first, like the panic of everything, the noises, you hear more gunshots, you hear people like whatever's happening, this combat going on, ensuing. You have Shawnee and the rest of the party going like, "What are you guys doing? Come on, you gotta catch up! You gotta catch up!" And you feel the purple power like slip away from you, and for a second, you feel that softer side. You realize it must be connecting to the Hedera around you, but that's not the Hedera you need right now.
Mm-hmm.
And you settle yourself, and using this epic token, you take a deep breath, and you open your eyes, and you're not in Vice anymore. The shouts, the gunshots, the screams, the fire, that all goes away. It's just the birds in the meadow. It's the stupid song that Gabriel would be humming as he does some menial task. And you feel a soft hand on your shoulder. And without looking, you just know it's Hedera. And as you reach up and you touch the hand on your shoulder, you look down at young Master Mervis, and you touch his chest, and his wound closes. As you look at the hand on your shoulder and up its arm, and you try to look at your mother's face again, it slips away from you, this vision. But you just know that she was smiling. As the cruel, crushing reality of Vice begins to rip its way back into your senses, the smells, the sounds, the sights, young Master Mervis is like, and he like clatters to his feet, and he's like, I'm ready to leave.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and follow everyone else down the alley? We'll finish up here, and we'll join you, okay?
And he heads off towards the group, and we will re-enter the party. Shawnee begins to shout back to Sequoia, Epsilon, and Tavish, who would at this point be out of earshot because you have traveled the opposite direction into the fighters. He's like, we have to keep going! Are you coming with us, or are you staying? And this is to Sequoia and Epsilon. 5.
It's time to go!
Let's go!
I'm running on out of there.
We gotta go.
So, Tavish,
Mervis is fine. Let's go.
With those being yelled at you, Tavish, you have a decision. 5, 4.
He's too angry. He's going in ham. This is for the kill now.
Perfect. As the party sets off down the road away, we will join back with Tavish here in a sidebar in a second. The party runs down the road.
Yeah.
He's made his
As the party continues, this through the alleys is relatively, peaceful. Other than what you hear running away which is nothing but what the and a bunch of other noises echoing down from the streets that you have left.
Fun.
Okay.
As you make it down, you get to this point called the 3 points. And Shawnee goes, all of these lead out of the city. It's just a matter of which one do we take? You know what? Lyra, you've got a good gut. Which way are we going? As you look at these 4 options. 4 options ahead of you.
The 3 points.
It is 4 point. It's 4 hallways, but they create 3 like triangles, which create the 4 hallways.
It's the Hogwarts houses.
I know, right?
So as you're staring down these, each one of them offers a different path to set forth in. Other than what you feel in this general sense that they are all different, they all just seem like different alleyways. No callings or descriptions, can aid to this. So you just have to ask yourself, Sequoia, or Lyra, sorry.
Dang.
Which one are you picking?
My first thought was to go green.
Go green? All right. You will head down the green path.
Slytherin.
No.
As you all head down this path, wounded, you travel for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, to the point where you can no longer hear the gunshots in the distance. It's quiet. And as you turn a corner, Xander getting to the point where Hedera is more carrying him. You're met with a non-familiar face to any of you, which is funny, except for young Master Mervis, which is none other than Draven.
Of course it is.
But it could be worse, but also is pretty bad.
He looks like a drug addict, honestly. He looks like he's on meth.
Damn.
Yeah, he made super meth. Don't even talk about that, man.
You can tell. Look at him.
Heroes of Ambervale. Huh. What brings you here into my alleyway?
Oh, we're just passing through.
Just trying to get out of here.
In the
I wouldn't even say
background,
that.
there are like boxes and like shipping containers being like loaded by different people. In fact, actually, let's get a perception check for our party here. The number we are looking for to get the basic level, it is going to be a 12. To get the extra insight, it is an 18. So 12 and 18 are the breakpoints we're looking for.
Oh yeah,
God.
look at me.
Thank God for
There
that.
we go. There we go.
Damn.
Thank God for
Finally.
that.
Freaking
All right, at least
finally.
I just got the basic because I only got
So,
14.
Epsilon, what you notice
Very
is
observant.
just Draven. Like you're confronted, you're vaguely aware that you're like, wait, this is one of the leaders of the city, and you feel that like fight or flight instinct like kicking in, like, is this guy gonna be an enemy? For Lyra, what you notice is that you're like, wait, hold on, that's isn't that the same shipping destination? Like that? Yeah. No, hold on. This is going to, like, whatever they're loading is going to Ambervale. Yeah. And Sequoia, what you note is that it's not only going to Ambervale. This is going via the same trading company and the same shipping route as the supplies from Vice that you all procured earlier when you were procuring the shipment for the Mud Fort.
Procurement.
Talking about procurement ink.
And Draven is like, he sees that you're all kind of like, with the exception of Epsilon, kind of looking at his wares, and he steps back, like aggressively steps like into your line of sight, and he goes like,
Of course.
I don't think you need to make trouble for me, and I don't need to make trouble for you. I don't care about your bounties. That's not what I'm here for. So, I'm going to give you a one-time offer. I've got a personal vehicle just around the corner. You guys take it, and you get the fuck out of Vice. Sound fair?
That sounds like a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
What do we do about Tavish?
Let's just come on, take the man's deal. You have to get these people out of here.
All right.
Well, if you see our friend, can you at least tell him that we left?
He just kind
I'm
of
gonna take
looks.
that as a no.
Yeah. As the party is walking by and like you like get to the vehicle, he goes, I see you got a working Tavish. Not bad. Or not Tavish, sorry, Mervis. I see you got a working Mervis. Not bad. And Mervis like recognizes him clearly, but it is like looks like shaken a little bit.
But he with us? I thought he was back there still.
Yeah.
No, Mervis came back with Sequoia. I apologize. I did forget to set that part.
With me.
As they get into the vehicle, Draven goes like, I would offer a driver, but I think Shawnee will suffice. So. And he just kind of like shuts the door and like stares, like he stares at you while you all leave. So like when you look out the window back, he's just like the whole time just eyeing the vehicle as you leave this alleyway, before finally turning back and going back to whatever he was working on.
His
before you all
drugs.
So
He's
I look
sending
at
drugs to
Shawnee.
Ambervale.
it's like, what's to stop us from going to go pick up Tavish right now?
Shawnee goes, I mean, realistically, I guess nothing other than with that much attention, it's going to be even worse back there now.
The bounty is live or dead, right?
Yes.
The bounty,
Yeah, I
sorry,
think
the
it-
bounty's
I
alive
was
or
gonna
dead.
say it didn't specify, but now he's okay.
Vice rules. Alive or dead.
He said bring his
Okay.
heads. I don't think that's.
Also fair.
Oh, fair.
But now no one
Okay.
knows what we're in, though.
Yeah, but if we go back to go get Tavish, they're gonna know what we're doing. Like it's us
Yeah,
now.
he's gonna have heat.
The
Around
the only thing I'll
A
say
lot.
is if we double back and we get caught in this vehicle, we're going to make a major enemy out of Draven, because people are going to know that he gave us this car.
And he's a little crazy.
So
You can see it
I-
in the eyes,
as he
y'all.
as he gets to like an intersection, he's like, all right, I got to know, am I going out of the city or back to Tavish?
Now look here. As much as I would like to go back to Tavish, I feel like he is already very upset, and if we go back, it will make him even more upset.
Yeah,
He
I agree.
did that so we could get out. I know it is not favorable, but that's what he would want us to do.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
if
I
we come back
agree.
and something happens to this boy,
Epsilon's like, he looks like conflicted. It's like gripping his knee all hard and shit. And he's like, "You're right. This is what he wanted us to do."
I don't like it
Zan-
if we
more
go
than you
back and
guys
something
do.
happens, it'll be for nothing.
Look, Tavish knows where we're going. Yeah.
We're trying to get
he
out.
can make it. He can make his way out. Knows we're going to North Hill. Yeah. So
Yeah, he knows exactly where we're going.
All right, so I'll leave the city then. Shawnee says, a bit shakenly.
Yeah, we gotta get Xander some treatment.
Unfortunately,
He
yeah.
ain't looking
And
that
he-
good back there.
He
And we gotta
pulls,
figure out what's going on with Hadair's shoulder wound. I don't know what that is.
he pulls the wheel aside, or he turns the car, and you begin the quiet exit of Vice. You note that as you drive through the streets, people do clearly know this vehicle, to the point where, like similar to like when you were walking the streets with Vito, people get out of the way a little bit more as you continue to the edge of the city. And now it is time to go to a sidebar with Tavish. Leaping from the flames into the group of assailants, I will give you we'll do a free attack. This will not count as this will count as like a bonus activity action as you're catching them off guard. So let's see what that first attack roll is, and what would you generally be going for in this?
I would be going for crooks of knees and elbows. I'm essentially aiming to like demobilize as well as like completely cut people's ability to fight as quickly down as possible.
Perfect. So the fire ends, the flames wash the streets. You leap out from behind the fires, and you're swiping for the first leg you see. Let's see the attack roll.
Oof.
A 9. It's not the greatest strike. However, these are relatively unarmored combatants, as they predominantly are attempting to fight at range. So you leap into the group of them, and with the first slice, the first person goes down, and you do get an additional attack. So this is your now normal attack to go into your next adversary. This second group is about 8 people, so now it is down to 7 as you do your next attack. Same thing.
Same thing.
Same thing.
Going to go. Yeah, same thing.
Perfect.
No way. All right.
You bring your weapon through, and this time you are going for an arm. You expect it to hit kind of into the wood of like a crossbow or whatever these contraptions are, but you realize as you impact on it, it's made out of metal itself, and so your blade almost gets like blocked, as you weren't expecting to hit something with so much resistance. Would you like to force an action?
Yes, I'm going to take the dagger that Sequoia gave me, one hand, and stab to a thigh of the person who's blocking my sword.
Let's see it. At 12, you're more than able to just like your main blade gets stopped. You close the distance in. They're still like trying to understand what's going on, as they didn't even see you approach through the fire. He attempts to like back up, and by lifting his weapon to try to like fire at you, you're able to just bury your knife into his thigh, and he crumples with the pain, trying to get the blade or like cover the wound. Do you keep the dagger with you, like it's stab release, or stab and let go?
Stab, pull back, pull out, so that way the wound.
Yeah, his hands are over his gushing leg wound, but the 6 others are going to take some shots at you. I'm going to do we're going to do this in 2 groups. 3 are going to be close to you, so these are going to be at a disadvantage for them, as they're kind of like you're intermingled within them. The other 3 are a little further back, so they won't suffer the same penalty. So let's see the first 3. So these are the ones at disadvantage. So 14, 9, 14, and as they fire, that like the shots either ricochet like at awkward angles or just miss you completely. The next 3 are going to take their shots at you. These ones are not at a disadvantage. Hey, look, these aren't the marksmen of the first group, at least, right?
Nope.
So again, their shots miss. This time, though, one of them does kind of impact into your armor again, and it does leave yet another dent within your suit. But none have pierced the plate of your metal yet. What is your reaction? Like I said, you have 3 that are kind of within like a step and swing range, and then you have 3 that would be like more like a soft charge.
I'm going to go towards the 3. It's going to be kind of the same attacks. I'm going to kind of keep the dagger gripped in hand and gripping it over my two-handed sword as well.
Yeah,
So-
gotcha. And sorry, which group are you going for? Close or far?
The closer group, the one that the first 3.
Perfect. So let's get an attack roll, and I assume same thing. Limbs.
Yeah, I'm going for legs and arms, or
Perfect.
a leg at this point. Goodness gracious!
Oh no! You do have
depending on
mastery.
how- Yep. I think I will use mastery.
Well, we will use mastery. No, actually, sorry, I apologize. You can't use mastery on that one.
Right. Right. That's
So,
right.
So you swing and again, you're just not used to these contraptions that they're using. These armaments that they have are getting your blades caught. Would you like to force an action?
I will force an action of a push to push the one that I'm engaged with into the other 2.
Perfect. Let's see here. That we'll call that a grapple. You need a 11. No, 9.
9. Gotcha.
You beat either one of them. You're able to push him back into the other 2. So now again they will be operating at a disadvantage with their attack rolls at you. Taking into the fact that they're stumbling, falling, or otherwise not staring at you aiming. So let's get those 3 for their attack rolls. These are the ones that are not firing optimally.
Disadvantage.
20.
So 2 of them fire shots off into nowhere. One of the shots actually hits one of the combatants that was out of your standard reach, and he falls to the floor. However, one of the shots it fires off and it hits into the face plate of your armor and dents down your left eye. So now you can kind of only see street level with your left eye.
Gotcha.
And now we're going to do the attack rolls for the now 2 other for the group that is aiming. Their shots, their shots whiz by you, but they're not aiming in the direction of the disadvantaged group. So their shots just fly off into alleyways elsewhere. You do hear more footsteps of more people coming, and you would also note that it's not part of this group. It would just be part of the general rabble. There are people coming from a different direction trying to slip behind you down the alleyway. So you've got melee combatants trying to slip towards the party down the alleyway from behind you, and you've got the ranged combatants in front of you.
I would disengage. I'm going to disengage from the ranged combatants, trying to get things in between me and them, and go after the melee combatants that are coming down the other way.
Perfect. You're going to be able to get in front of their group, as you are quite a bit faster than they are. You're interceding into the front of the group, which is 2 people. One has a sword, a medium-sized sword in 2 hands. The other has a little buckler and kind of gladius-like weapon.
Gotcha. I am going to swing low on the medium sword guy holding in 2 hands to try and cut calf and kind of again cuts to debilitate but not to kill. So I'm just gonna go for a attack that goes low on him.
Okay, let's see it. You're able to get your blade into the back of the knee, rip that right on up. He falls to the ground screaming. The other person is standing there and is starting to ready themselves against you. Would you like to force an action?
I'm just gonna go for a headbutt straight from my helmet to his nose.
Perfect.
To try and debilitate him that way.
An unarmed strike. Let's see it. You collide with his nose. His nose breaks, and he crumples to the ground, grasping at his face, which is a bloody mess from your helmet, especially with the deformation in your helmet, creating a sharper angle on your brow line. It is now time for the everyone to make attacks. We do have 5 ranged combatants now that get to optimally aim. So let's see their attack rolls first. As the melee combatants are still pouring in, there would be probably about 4 left of them in this first group.
Oof.
So that's 2 shots hit you kind of like in your armor. Another shot comes and clicks into your helmet. This time it bends like the chin into your jaw, so like you like can't keep your mouth closed all the way like comfortably. It's kind of like pushed off to the side, and we do have 2 more ranged combatants to roll for. The other 2, the shots, one of the shots just ricochets harmlessly like down the alley. One of them actually hits another one of the melee combatants, knocking their group down to 3 as they come charging in. Their attacks, they're coming in with their attacks in just like a flurry of melee at you. So let's get their attack rolls. They're unorganized strikes. 3.
And I do have a question after these attacks.
Of course. As they come in, one of the attacks again just glances off your armor as you're pulling yourself back from the headbutt. A couple of the slashes like hit into like your bracers and like your arm, like your protection. It causes some dents and some cuts into your armor, but like you yourself like are fine. And then what were we gonna ask?
I'm double checking on how to use parry. Is that I sacrifice next turn's attack to gain +2 armor on all physical attacks? Yes. Does that work against range or only melee weapons?
It is only melee. It's only melee, and while we are in narrative fighting, like we are right now, where you're not always rolling an armor roll, it is factored into their attack roll as kind of like a negative effect to them, or I might give a positive to you on your next turn, kind of thing, just to set that up.
I think I will. It is my turn, correct?
Yes. Yeah. So you've got 3 people in front of you.
Okay, I would like to use another of my epic encounter tokens to use it as kind of like I'm going to barrel through them. I'm trying to force enough energy to hit them like a Mack truck and just keep running past them down the alleyway they just came down.
So they're coming. So just to set, you're kind of at like imagine like a T-joint. So you've got like the main tramway that you were on. You came down a divergent path. You charged out of that path back onto the tramway from the area you came from. That's where the ranged guys were. A group from like the enticement center was attracted by the noise and is coming back this way, and so you came back. So you're like almost where the derailed train is. You're defending the alleyway so people can't follow the party.
Gotcha. At this point, I think I've got their attention well enough. Okay, then I will definitely would like to change how I use my epic encounter token. Who of them seems to be the slightest of frame of the melee fighters in front of me?
We'll say the middle one, he has a spear, where the other 2 have like one has a club, the other has like a spiked mace.
How close am I to him?
You're within striking range. You're maybe, I mean, like actual distance, probably 4 feet, you know.
Then, and there are bodies of the, well, I say bodies, but the
Yes, there are 2 people like kind of
left
like at the feet. Yeah.
I am going to break off from the melee, grab one of those guys who I dismembered, and try to hold him up like a shield in between me and the ranged guys as I try and book it towards the entertainment center. I know I threw a lot of things into there all at once. So
No problem. You're like with this epic token, picking the guy up and like bashing through the first group is no issue. We'll have the ranged combatants make some desperation shots at you as they see you trying to like get away. So let's see their 5 shots. So for the most part, your barrier, like you hear him whimpering at first, but then as the bullets start ricocheting and ripping through him, he quickly is silenced, and you're making your way past the group. A couple of the shots, like dent into your like left shoulder pad a little bit. You feel a little bit of a click in that, like as you like move your arm. As you get onto the street, one of the things you do see is it is not the same vehicle, but is a similar vehicle to it. One of those trucks with like the bed, or the vehicles with like the bed in the back and people on the back. And they are not attempting to come towards you. They look like they are trying to turn down the alleyway and begin driving like down the alleyway towards where the party would be.
I'm going to drop the body of the guy who is probably clearly dead, and I'm going to try and jump into the back of that truck.
Okay. All right, let's see it. Let's see we'll start with an athletics check. Athletics check, and we're going to call this a 15 to do this cleanly. Hey. You're able to jump and like hop like onto the back side of it as it's kind of like turning in towards the alleyway. And so you're on the bed. There are 4 people on the bed of the vehicle with you, and then there's 1 person in the passenger, 1 person in the driver's seat. What do we do?
So there's 4 people in the back of the truck. It does not have a harpoon, I presume?
It does not, no.
Okay. I am going to start... I still have the daggering my sword in hand, correct? I'm going to use my 2-handed sword kind of like a shield and start doing some stabs with the dagger. These are going to be lethal. I'm going for faces. I'm going for a throat.
And are you prioritizing driver, people in the bed? What are we?
I'm first prioritizing people in the bed.
Cool. Let's see the first attack roll. You do have mastery.
I have mastery for a one-hit attack?
Oh, this is the dagger. That's right. My apologies. You don't have
This is the dagger. I do have a 2 in it, but
so that does give you the +1 to hit. It is enough to stab the first person, but you're not as elegant with this blade. So it's like a clunkier strike and pullback. So it's not as like readied for the next blow. Would you like to force an action or?
I think I will force the action. The action will be to take, after the stab, come back to the handle of my 2-handed sword and sweep, trying to like cut across another person's chest.
Okay. Let's see it. Bringing your blade back across, you're able to swipe across this person. Your strength and size allows you to operate in this more cramped environment better than this group, who also was not expecting someone to jump onto the back of their moving vehicle. And so the closest 2 people to you are taken out. The person in the passenger seat attempts to bring a crossbow, open up a window and fire a crossbow up and at you. It's going to be an awkward shot, so they're going to need a high roll. Let's see their attack. No, in fact, you watch as one of the 2 people in the back of the bed with you that is still standing just eats a crossbow to the chest and tumbles out of the back of the cab. The last person in the cab has just seen someone jump onto the back of a moving vehicle, eviscerate 2 of their people, and then friendly fire. They hop out of they just jump out of the back of this moving vehicle, and let's roll a toughness check for them to see how they fare. They stick the landing. They drop, they roll, but they run down and they run down. They find a door and they open it and they close it. Like they leave. However, the ranged assailants are going to fire another volley. Seeing as this is a rival group and they don't, this is all happening kind of out of their line of sight, what's happening on the back bed, they just know that they don't want to let someone else get ahead of them. So they're firing at the driver and the vehicle. Let's see their attack rolls.
Oh my god.
The first guy, like the leader of this group, steps forward and fires, and the shot hits the driver. And let's roll a calamity check real quick.
Well, I don't know how that's gonna fare for me. That sounds really bad.
The driver swerves hard. The driver swerves hard, and the vehicle flips and tumbles, and it crashes. It flips, it tumbles, it crashes. There was broken railway debris from the derailment as the vehicle smashes into this railway thing. For a brief instant, the arcane energies that power the vehicle, similarly to the things that power everything in Vice, begin to activate in a conduit-like setting, causing a violent eruption of magic. And so, Tavish, we are going to need you to roll a stalwart check to see if you can escape this magical overloading of energy. And with the fact that this is on a crit, this is on a 1. This is on a very bad calamity.
The worst of the worst. This is the worst calamity roll I think we've had so far.
I'm gonna need you on this stalwart check to beat a 17.
Yes!
The explosion goes off. The ranged assailants are eviscerated. This magic explodes out. Buildings nearby crumble. Like this creates a detonation here. Like the railways are bent and broken. The buildings nearby are blasted apart. Tavish, you emerge like staggering from this fiery explosion. Your sword. In fact, actually, let's roll. No. I can do this without. Your sword is one of the only items that you carry that makes it out of this explosion. As you step from this walking wreckage, your armor chips and breaks off, the straps giving way or the plates being charred to nothingness, and you just have to like rip what armor isn't just melted into your flesh, like off your body as you like hobble away. You survived the explosion, but you can tell what if you had hair left, it's gone. Your wrappings are burning. You're stripping anything that can be flammable just like off your body as you like hobble away from this explosion. I'm gonna need you to roll a toughness check. The number to beat for this one is a 12. 20. Look at this, Tavish showing the will to live. Tavish, you continue just walking down this path, this way that you saw the party going. At this point, you're just dragging your sword like across the ground, this horrifying like wailing screech as it rips across the pavement of the city of Vice. You hobble down this way. There's a point where as people come to this explosion and whatnot, you notice some people run right by you. Some of the people that like would have been assailants, as they look over you, they don't see the Tavish they recognize. They see this burnt, ashen, like this, I don't know, whatever this pathetic mongrel-y looking, lanky creature is, as you fit none of the descriptions that they would expect. There's no armored knight. There's no, like warrior of epic word and like boisterous voice. They just walk past this weird, almost withered, zombie-ish creature. As you continue walking down this path on the like that you saw the party go down. As you get to the eventually you make your way to the 3 points, and at the 3 points you are met with the same decision that the party was met with.
I would choose...
Give me 1 second. I apologize. I'm going to reorganize these real quick because I realized we didn't do this part in a sidebar. So to make this the most fair to you, I am going to just I'm going to shift this in my notes just to... Yeah. Okay. So you have the same choices, though they lead to slightly different things.
Blue. I would choose the blue path.
So as you head down this path, you're heading down this path, and you hear the clanking of metal boots. You hear a group of people walking down this way, and you feel that like every ounce of yourself trying to muster up this will to fight, but everything that you have left is just left step, right step, left step, right step. And you turn this corner as you just continuously will yourself forward, and you bump into an armored individual. And he turns and he looks at you, and you're looking at none other than Skem. You recognize him. He was the fighter that you all watched in the arena back when you delivered the bananas to Dawn and Russ. And he eyes you, and he looks at you, and then he looks at your sword, and he looks back at you, and then he's kind of like pushed aside a little bit, and it's none other than Dawn. And he goes, I know you. Yeah, you usually wear armor. You look different. You changed your haircut? Is that new? No?
Hey lad, that's the only new thing that I've done.
See, I knew it. And Russ is looking at him like, this man is burnt to hell. There is no way you think it is just a new haircut. Dawn looks at him, and the two of them begin to bicker as if you aren't hanging on to your very existence by a string. And a person walks out of this building that they're kind of like congregated at, and it's none other than Ronnie Blackheart. And she looks over at you, and she's like, normally I wouldn't just hand out a favor, but it seems that you can walk the talk that you espouse. I've never seen someone so beat up still standing. So, I'm going to do you one favor, and one favor only. You're going to get in this vehicle with my team, and you're going to leave this city. Got it?
With such wonderful terms, I can't refute your kindness.
Oh, it's not kindness. I respect a warrior, which you clearly are. And Dawn and Russ say they like you. And as long as they're making me money, I don't mind making them just a little bit happy. But just know that my guy could have shot you instead of Sequoia. Or Hedera, sorry.
True. He could have. But he didn't. And so I'm standing here. And I have one thing I'd like to say, since you're doing me a favor. I feel it only right to tip you towards something that might help you. Draven's alive. And he's the maker of freedom.
Not altogether too unsurprising, but it's worth knowing. And
he might have drugged Vito. I don't know how many times he might have used freedom on another leader. Maybe don't drink the water for a while.
I don't drink anything not private.
Then I guess you're fine. You might want to watch the others, though. I owe you one.
Yeah, you do. And the Dawn, Russ, Skem hop into a vehicle, and you hop in with them, and you begin your journey to the outskirts of the city. And on this note, we can rejoin the party.
Oh shit!
No, I'm kidding.
Playing. Ain't no damn way. I was like,
What the hell? That's a man.
It was that close.
As Epsilon, Sequoia, Lyra, as you get to the city's edge, Shawnee like stops the vehicle and is like, "All right, well, I guess this is where I leave you guys. I can't, after all, leave Vice. This is everything to me. And besides, I'm not really wanted. I just didn't want to see you guys hurt. So,
Really think you'll be all right?
he hops out of the vehicle, and he begins kind of like briefly explaining how it works. And for the most part, it's pretty simple, like the operations of it. And he looks up to Epsilon, and he goes, I mean, look, at the end of the day, you just got to keep working on that Shawnee legacy, baby.
I let him have that one. I let him have the one. I gotta clasp his arm.
when we even though, okay, did the freaks work outside of Vice? Even though we wouldn't be able to read a message from you, we could let you know if they work outside of here that we got somewhere safely. I don't know. I don't know if that would even be smart.
They'll work for a bit outside of the city, but once you're out of its like connectivity or whatever, they start really jamming up, and they basically just become rocks again.
No long distance.
Tim is the one that he instructed, and he hops into the driver's seat, and begins
Of course, it's Tim.
driving the vehicle, and Shawnee stands there and like waves to the group as he
Before we leave,
like
I just wanted to clasp his
Oh.
arm, be like, "Don't
Oh
get
my
in the debt
God.
again. Stay out of debt."
You're one to talk.
and he clasps arm
I
and
know
he
how it
goes.
feels.
Literally.
He looks up and he looks at Sequoia and he's like, and hey, it was nice meeting you. Yeah.
Yeah, you better get your man. You
And
better get your man, your boo.
and he like turns to and like starts to hobble away as the vehicle begins to.
Sequoia, before the vehicle
Huh?
goes off, Sequoia goes and gives him a hug. You did good.
He
Thanks for your
stands
help.
there. He stands there for a second, not hugging back, and he's like, "Can I hug back?"
Yeah, I gave
I'd
it
imagine it like a child because he looks tall.
I know.
like,
I'm gonna say
fully-
like Sequoia's like 4 feet tall. Like
he fully embraces the hug, and then is like, "Thanks, I needed that." And
you were a big help to us. Thank you.
and
I mean, you never know.
you see him have to like mentally wind himself back up to be like, yeah, you know, I like to stay useful, so yeah, and he like takes a step
look,
back and waves as you re-enter the vehicle and
Yeah.
now
I'll be
pull
here
off.
like, you never know. Maybe all of this will blow over and you'll see us all again one day.
I wouldn't hate it. And you all pull off as you drive out of the city. As you're driving out of the city, is for the first like 15 minutes or so, it's quiet, nothing too crazy. It's right about like the 20 minutes out of the city, 30 minutes out of the city, right in that kind of thing. You note that, hey, this vehicle actually has a built-in freak booth, and Shawnee's actually made a post. It's not from his normal freak, but he's made a
He
post.
destroyed it.
And as you would you click into the Shawnee post?
Yeah.
You click into the Shawnee post, and it's him, and he's like, "What's going on, enthusiasts? It's Shawnee, building that legacy, you know. Yeah, it's been a wild ride. These heroes from Ambervale, it was something else, you know. It really makes you think that maybe we can be better, but I don't know." You know, I'm not someone who really gets like shy around people. After all, I'm the Shawnee. But you know, I've never felt myself so tongue-tied before. I just, you know, and you know if I'm talking to you when I say I really would have moved heaven and earth, and I do hope I made a difference. So, and you hear like rustling from around him, and it's like the freak booth he's in. Like you hear the door get like opened, and you like a scuffle begins to happen as like you see like it like the video like the visual feed activates, it cuts off, the audio like cuts in and out, things like that, and then you the last thing you see is Shawnee. He's like, it pops back onto the visual, and he gets pulled out of the booth, and you hear, "Which way did they leave the city? I don't know what you're talking about." You fucking know. Which way did they leave the city? Look. I'm not gonna rat him out, okay? That's not me. That's not the Shawnee. And you hear, "All right, fine. Then you're worthless." And a bang. The Shawnee freak stays on, and you just hear the shuffling of footsteps. And then the signal begins to fade and crackle as you're leaving further and further away from the city. Until finally the connection gives out. Not too much longer after that, the vehicle itself, no longer being within the currents and the connectivity of Vice, it itself gives out. Xander barely informs the party that just a bit up the road is where the Hermit's Hollow was setting up their staging grounds. That there would be friends there. So the party's able to exit the vehicle and head down the road, where there are three like hot air balloon looking contraptions. They are staged on the ground, and people who look like Xander, same robes, same things like that. You see like iconography of the Hermit's Hollow, like on their like banners and on their clothing and things like that. And seeing the party, they recognize you as assets that were in the city that would be considered friendly. The group comes over and they immediately start patching the party up, foods, waters, potions, things like that, as they begin to like set up for the travel back to North Hill. Another vehicle, like you hear down the road, the sound of a vehicle, and it makes all of you, you're readying for combat. This extra, who else would follow you outside of the city? And then cresting over the sandy dunes is none other than, man, I know you did not just tell us to walk over this hill for nothing. No, I'm telling you. Look, I can smell Hermit's Hollow oil. It smells exactly like that dragon that dragon chicken stuff that we had. Back over like in the Golden City kind of area. Like, look, those are Hermit Hollow vessels. That is a lucky guess, and you did not smell anything. I see through you. I see through you. And walking behind them is the gladiatorial combatant that you watched fight when you dropped off the bananas, the fighter known as Skem. In Skem's arms is the charred, husked, but still moving body of none other than Tavish.
Oh shit.
Only the facial hair and hair on the top of the head is gone. It is long burned off. He has plates of his once prismatic armor melted into his flesh. His wrappings are gone, and you see that Tavish, underneath everything, is this thin, hobbled, feeble-looking like entity, not the hulking suit of armor that you had become accustomed to being around. The only item that he still has intact with him is he has his sword clutched in his hands as Skem carries him down the hill. The Hermit's Hollow representatives. I'm sorry?
I was just like, damn, what the fuck? This
No,
man
we
came
just-
up
yeah,
just
commenting
roasted
on
and
that.
roasted up the goddamn.
Over here, like poor little Alphonse.
Skem brings him over to the balloons that Dawn and them were on the list of assets within the city, and so they are easily welcomed into the hot air balloons as they begin their journey to the city of North Hill. As these balloons lift up and begin their journey, everyone in the party has this feeling of like finally resting, finally being a little at ease. This deep collective breath, having had to expend so much in this daring escape from the city of Vice. As everyone stares out, you realize what felt like hours, because everything happened so quickly. You would have said 2-3 hours at most. You realize, no, you fought your way through almost the entire night. And the sunrise is beginning to creep up over the mountains of the Twilight Vale. Its pinkish hues as it echoes off the arcane remnants of that land before it turns into the oranges and yellows that would light the day. All four of you enjoy this amber-like glow. In fact, actually, let's roll a perception check for Sequoia and Lyra real quick.
All right.
All right.
Oh my god. Does the 8 matter?
So, Lyra,
Give me an
you're staring out into this sunrise, and Sequoia, you as well. You can't help but comment on it. Beautiful, ain't it? And Epsilon, nods in agreement. He doesn't say much, but it is. He's happy to see something peaceful and something that resonates with him, this fiery, burning orb. But you also note, as you kind of turn to look at the party, that Epsilon's not, while he's commenting on staring into the sunrise, he's actually not looking in the right direction. You are staring into the sunrise, yet Epsilon is clearly squinting as if staring into a sunrise. As you head towards the city of North Hill, Epsilon, you, this whole time in this state, are staring at a bright amber light in the distance as you continue your journey north to the city of North Hill. And on that, my friends, party members, and viewers abroad,
Confusion.
that is our session, and we will be back. It was a lot of fun. We did escape the city. We did it. The party did it.
I knew they were going to
And,
kill Sean. I knew they were going to kill him.
Hey, I didn't see a red light. I'm not convinced.
If you want to catch the next part of the story, make sure you are here on the 21st. That will be the next installment of our tale and our quest. But until then, this was the Escape from Vice. This was the Night of the Hunted. And until next time, you have a beautiful time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey, see ya.
Yay! Still alive.
We're still
Barely.
alive.
Barely.
Oh my god. Poor Tavish.